get this straight. When tasked, albeit on low funds, when tasked with figuring out how we're going to get our message back in part into the past to pass, the horrors coming their way to them, you have in fact built a robot. You've built a man-sized robot that does not nothing, does it? He can make a mean cup of tea. But at the moment, our last best hope for humanity is a tea-making robot. Is this in fact what you're telling me? Have you got any further plans on this?
Salam, and welcome to the Pot Topic Podcast, issue 31. Woo.
Oh, I didn't get my air horn app. Yeah.
On this podcast... let's start with the hosts. Let's do this smoothly. I am your host, Tom, and to my left we have other hosts. We have Eddie.
Work the shaft, cup the balls.
And I'll follow that up with hello, Becky.
And I'm going to correct you and say it's Bex, not Becky. How long have I fucking known you and you've forgotten my name?
I'm trying to skip ahead and think about what I've got to do next. Sorry.
So we're starting this with hate and vehement and scowling.
As it should be.
And we have Andy.
Hey,
and we have Cushion. Yeah, right there.
Apparently I'm not allowed to say anything.
No, you're not. You're the Cushion. And that's Gregg.
I'm not a host, apparently. I'm just sitting here. So
I was coming back to you last.
Oh, why?
Well,
I've just gone and ruined it now, haven't I?
I like you less.
Smooth as fuck.
Probably knows your name.
On this podcast, we have two pots filled with topics, one from the host, one from the community. We draw them out at random, talk about 2 hours, and done.
I am Taran, by the way.
Are you alright? What's the whiskey?
Smooth.
I'll give the whiskey over to...
Talking of smooth, Ed.
Finally, Eddie's actually chipped in for whiskey. Today's exploration is one of an old stable, Jim Beam Maple, which unfortunately doesn't have a cork, but...
That
always disappointing.
But new addition, we've got a new pot. Then this is actually for the whiskey, this one. We have a teapot. A glass teapot from which we shall decant our whiskey henceforth.
Because we're so fucking British.
A Pimm's glass.
It's a Pimm's teapot.
You're not getting away with not mentioning it. That's British. It's Pimm's.
It's Pimm's for the time being. Oh God, look at it.
Ironic whiskey.
I've never seen a teapot full of whiskey.
Why are we not videoing this?
Oh, I'm so excited!
Perfect.
Look at it.
I see
I don't know. I imagine this will be like the album art for this show, unless something particularly outrageous happens.
We'll have to refill it with tea because I'm drinking this.
There we are.
Oh, it wouldn't be proper without the lid on it. Yeah.
I feel it could be much like a horn because now it's in the teapot. It must be drunk.
I'm just going to infuse the flavour.
That is true.
Just pour out some for me in my cup. I would like
my
some,
mouth.
Whiskey, thank you.
Still talking about the whiskey.
Excuse me.
I can't tell you.
Ladies first, I believe.
I don't drink, sweetie.
I do.
I donate my share to Tom, who I'm going to have to call another name for the rest of this thing.
Just call me Man Beth. Everyone else does. All right.
Just call him Tomothy.
Tomothy.
Just call him Tomothy.
What have we been up to this week apart from getting people's names wrong they've known for fucking years?
And I won't drop it. That's now. I'm going to have to edit that out like 20 fucking times.
Shall we start off with a quick pimp for Bex?
Yeah, go for it.
We've mentioned a couple of times.
10 quid a pop, guys.
Yeah, we've mentioned a couple of times that we've been looking to get our friend Bex on. And this is Bex from of pronounced internet fame, channel Trista Bytes.
Hell yeah.
Would you care to tell us a bit about your ting?
My ting.
Your ting.
My ting. There's a specific ting. This is a YouTube channel just about geek stuff and me ranting about movies, including millions of videos about Batman versus Superman and all that kind of shit, and anything that interests me, really.
You do really go into depth on like you'll pick a film and just like, oh, we'll do a series of movies on this. Like there'll be a spoiler free and a non-spoiler free.
I just record all of my ranting and then I go, shit, that's 30 minutes. And I go,
internet.
Well, I've apparently talked consistently for 5 minutes about one thing, and that's a video, and I've consistently talked 5 minutes about another thing. That's it. It's one continuous rant most of the time.
I'd love to see the raw footage.
I did it so much with like the Deadpool movie and with the Star Wars one that when I decided to rant about Batman vs Superman, I was like, I'm just gonna talk for fucking ages. So I cunningly swapped my jacket a couple of times mid-rant.
Check that out, a bit of inside baseball. I like it.
So it looked vaguely like it could possibly have been mould, but I've said it now, so everyone fucking knows it's not. But that was, I thought everyone was just going to think.
I mean, you say
thing.
everyone, like maybe 100 people who might watch your stuff through us now. Maybe 100, I don't know, less than that. Let's not talk about figures. That's bad podcasting.
6 million people are now going to be
6
plugged into
million
your
an
channel because
hour.
of this podcast.
Minimum.
Yeah.
I think you should
Minimum.
do your next video now as one full take, but still just change jackets halfway through.
Change
without-
jackets and
without any explanation.
hold up little cards with new titles on in the middle. Yeah.
I love the fact you've got a hater jacket, perhaps. This is the one where I'm going to rant. I'm going to put on the bad coat.
Some of them are specifically like more goth coats than others. I have to see if they influence what I'm saying.
So yeah, go check her out.
Thank you.
In particular, there's one video that I want to give props to, which is I've said to you before, but your video talking about ladybeards. Was it Lady Baby?
Both.
No, it's Lady.
Both. It was who is Ladybeard and what is Lady Baby. It was.
Oh
both.
yeah, that's right. Ladybeard is the dude, and Lady
Ladybeard's
Baby
the
is the
dude, and
band.
Lady Baby is the
So
band,
it's
yeah.
kind of it's another kawaii core. Is that the term?
It is. Although I've already been told off various times for pronouncing it slightly wrong because my Japanese is exceedingly rusty. But
Kawaii.
kawaii.
We know all about kawaii.
Kawaii.
Yes.
I pronounced it better than Avril Lavigne, so I get some points.
Oh, Hello Kitty. What a travesty.
Hello, Kitty. I showed you the better version now, so you've seen the death metal version. You're in the room for
Yes,
that.
yeah.
That
I did like that.
significantly improved the song.
As death metal version of Avril Lavigne's Hello,
Hello
Kitty.
Kitty.
It's pretty good.
Like Europeans
It
in a
is,
forest.
Yeah, like some of the shots is just dudes in corpse paint chimping around a forest.
It's
It's
completely
Zipping around.
perfect.
It's not a forest. It's clearly a park somewhere in the southeast of England.
It almost justifies the existence of the Avril Lavigne song just
Absolutely.
to have this piss take. So they have my love.
But yeah, no, go check out the video on Ladybeard and Lady Baby and kind of learn more about this really weird little Japanese band that actually turns out kind of awesome.
Yeah, it's an Australian martial artist wrestler who wears a dress.
Who made his name? No, I'll save it for the video.
Yeah.
Go watch the video.
I have to say, my favourite video recently from you has been the what you need to do your reading, your research on Batman versus Superman.
Yeah, because everyone
It
kept
actually
asking.
educated me a bit.
Yeah, it made sense to do that because anytime someone asked me, I could then just go and watch my videos. I get YouTube hits and I don't have to answer the same question 20 times a week.
Is that the secret?
That was it.
Fed up of talking to my friends.
Stop asking me this question.
I know your pain.
But people, the comments got quite heated in that. People were like replying and people were telling me I was wrong for liking any of it and then I was wrong for hating any of it. And then two people started having a slagging match in the comments of my video at each other now.
Oh,
in which
dear.
one of them was telling the other one, what was it? Smoke a blunt out of my arsehole was apparently one of the insults.
Yeah, that is how to insult someone. That is amazing.
You know you've made it on the internet when you've got 12-year-olds ranting in drug talk.
There is a 12-year-old that hates me, and I nearly replied to them, but I went and watched their YouTube channel, which is this little 12-year-old boy trying to beatbox and failing, and I just couldn't be bothered because I'm not a parent, I'm not here to parent, and
So look at you. You are your own insult to
nothing
yourself.
I could say. But yeah, he turned up on a Deadpool video, and he can't have seen it because he's 12, and he just said, "Fuck this bitch," and I was just like, okay.
Oh yeah, I remember you posted up a little screen grab. Of
Yeah,
that.
I screamed.
That's your first bit of internet
I
hate.
blacked out his name. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
It's just like I was like,
I
yay,
can't
someone
wait
hates
till-
me. I'm famous.
I want to go find it now
Start
and put
getting
him on
internet
blast.
hate.
And-
Which reminds me, I really need to start. I need to get back on Twitter and start antagonising God Hates Fags.
You fight the good fight, mate.
Yeah, I will.
So what else were we doing this week? I mean, we had a massive house party here.
Well, I wouldn't say massive, but we had, it was.
Was I that fucked up? I thought
was
it was
noticeable.
massive. Yeah, okay.
It was just you in a room on your own with some Haribo.
Friends!
That was it.
We didn't have the heart to tell you.
Yeah, you were just talking to the Percy Pigs. That was
And then girlfriend fell down the stairs.
I missed that bit.
Oh, it's never
Oh,
it's never a party unless Rita throws herself down the stairs.
I felt
Was it just
so
too
bad.
much?
Pretty much.
Rita told me last night that she heard me when she came down the next morning.
Yeah.
I was just like, we'd been up all night. I was just like, everyone else had already done the nice thing. Like, oh, hi Rita, how are you? Oh, are you okay? I was like, oh, I've got nothing to add to this. So instead I just said, how did the stairs taste? And like she told me last night that she heard it and she's just like too fragile to see the funny side of it at the time. I felt kind of bad.
What would you have done if she opened her mouth and basically she'd knocked half a teeth out?
No, do you know what? She actually she came back with the best answer last night. So in answer to your question, the stairs tasted painful. Bravo.
A new flavour of e-cigarette there. Pain!
Stairs pain.
Stairs pain. Yeah.
But the Enjoy Artist series.
She was on fire that night, though, because like me and Diola are upstairs having a chat, and then Rita walks into the room, and she's like, "You all right? I'm really hot. Look, feel my hands, feel my hands." It's like, "God, you are really warm." Yeah, it's like, "Yeah, it's from slapping bitches." Fuck yeah.
See, the
Awesome.
falling down the stairs must have happened after I left. But
Yeah, about an hour after you left.
for the time that I was there, I'd walk into a room, Rita would start hugging me with very little conversation, and she wouldn't stop until I then left the room. I just had a cuddly Rita limpet on me the whole night. It was lovely.
So yeah, I mean the pipe was pretty good. Devolved into the usual mess it usually devolves into.
Stopped on Sunday or Saturday night.
No,
actually.
well, we actually stopped Saturday night, which you know,
Very
go
civilised.
us.
Yeah,
Us.
only 24 hours. That's pretty civilized.
And I think like after that, when I went back to sleep, well, I woke up Sunday after like 9 hours sleep, going, there's no way that was enough sleep. There was just no way. But we went out to Greenwich, we did some stuff. And went back home. So, me and Heather, we'll cuddle up in bed and we'll watch some stuff. And because I fell asleep within like an hour,
Yeah.
so about 5 o'clock maybe, and I slept 16 hours, which, oh my god, I hate getting up after sleeping that much because just nothing in your head works. You just look at stuff, and just go. And that's kind of that is like the internal narrative. Anything you do is like occasionally interrupted by things like water.
As long as one of those words isn't brains, you're doing okay.
No, I mean if anything, it'll be brain. Where's my brain? But yeah, no, the party was pretty cool. It kind of sets a dangerous precedent because we've now sort of proved that we can have parties here, and now that we know we can, we shouldn't.
It's a new sawmill.
No, mate.
So
No.
my birthday's in a month. That's when we prove it. The first time I might have fluked it.
So, Andy, what have you been up to since we last saw you?
Since you last saw me, I don't know really. I went and bought a TV. They didn't have the one I wanted, so I was forced into buying a better TV that is a 3D TV because it was the same price as the one I wanted, but that one was sold out. So that's pretty cool.
3D
How
4K
big's the
as
TV?
well.
My TV is 48 inches big. It's 2 inches smaller than the one I was going to get. But this one's 3D and 4K. So, but I don't have the internet at my house yet, so I can't use any of the fun, like link it up to anything yet. That's a job for tomorrow.
Yeah, fair enough.
No, other than that, not been up to too much. Making my legs sore, really. That's about it, really.
Just running and shit.
Yeah.
You're training for a half marathon, aren't you?
Yes. Doing my half marathon in St Albans just before I could go to Glastonbury.
All right, yeah, just a warm up for a festival.
Yeah, that's basically how it goes.
Which I mean, that's going to be ruinous because you're also kind of you've gone 40 total on just like pretty much everything.
Yes.
In the run up, like you're just like no drinking.
I haven't had a drink since I got back from Iceland. So that is
that's a way to go out. Fucking Brennivin and everything.
Yeah. So that's now been, 6 weeks, 5 weeks, something
Yeah.
like that. And I'm not going to go teetotal between now and June, because, that would just be silly. But I'm going to keep it pretty light.
Yeah.
I think. And
No, and that's the thing. Like, kind of, there's a point where abstinence is just a substitute for self-control. It's like easy just to like not do something rather than just kind of control yourself doing it, which is something I should learn.
Well,
quick shout out for Tom for editing the last issue. I got wasted.
Listeners, no matter how painful it was for you, it was about 20 times more painful for me, and there was so much cut out.
The point is, listen to the rough cut of that one where I'm just there with headphones in, going, "Shut up, man! Shut up! Shut up!" It was that wasn't fun. I'm very sorry, everyone.
So yeah.
I think there should be an alternative cut that's only Drunken Taz.
Listen out for the bloopers at the end of this podcast.
But I think the abstinence was just about it's hard to have the motivation to go out running 3 times a week when you're hungover.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
That's as far as that went, really. I like your t-shirt, Tom.
I think this was a present from Sophie.
I approve.
Oh God. Oh, I don't want to know what she's going to bring back.
Oh, yeah, should we go into that?
Oh God.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Oh my goodness. So, at the moment, Sophie, avid listener, contributor, and creator of the Community Chest,
Yes.
is in America, in Dallas, I believe. Last time she was in America, she brought us back 1.75 litres of Canadian shit whiskey in a plastic bottle.
Yeah.
Pierce Brosnan.
No, it was.
Oh, never get this
It was
right.
James Bond.
Timothy
it was
Dalton.
Timothy Dalton
And a couple of whiskies.
Never get
huskies.
that right.
A couple of huskies.
Did I say whiskies? I might have said whiskies. Never mind. But yeah, she's over there. She put a picture up on the Facebook thing, which listeners you may have seen. She's like, "I found the whiskey," and she's clearly in a whiskey bar. So
Which
we're
is
just
huge.
oh no. But anyway, anybody else?
I learnt a new joke.
I'll go for it.
I get the feeling this is dangerous.
I love that you caught yourself halfway through that.
I was over at Ed's last night. We were watching The Aristocrats, which
One of my favourite documentaries.
oh god, it's amazing.
Bob Saget holds the record of 90 minutes. I want to go for it. But not now. But I want to go for it.
Yeah, no. If you don't know The Aristocrats, check it out. It's a documentary. It's like an hour and 20 minute documentary, and it's all about one joke. And it's kind of this joke that comedians use to tell to tell a joke to other comedians, and it's become its own thing. So the documentary is all about that. Just go watch it. I have no doubt. Like I can already see it on Eddie's face. It's probably going to pop up. At some point
Spoilers,
tonight.
there's a bit of effing and jeffing.
There is
There is
like
if you are very, very sensitive to a bit of effing and jeffing, watch it, it'll be funny.
yeah, absolutely. There's some effing and there's some jeffing and there's some anal polyping.
There is a lot of anal polyping. Anal polyping. Sharp P's on that one.
Polyp.
So, I mean, other than other than the party, this week, there's been two main things that have happened. Haken's new album leaked on YouTube for all of a day. And
so excited.
I didn't have the self-control. Like, I don't condone leaks and piracy and stuff. Like, we're going to go see them and I'm going to buy the album, but I just don't have the self-control to not listen to it. So I listened to it 3 times. So if anyone is a fan of Haken, look out for it. Like, it's coming at the end of the month and it is fantastic. Oh, I'm so excited. I just want it now. It is brilliant.
That's a good
And other than that, the only other thing I've really got to report is I've been reading a new book.
Yeah.
It's called it's called Survivors.
Oh, I saw it in the bog.
Yeah. It's written by someone called Zion Ben. Hang on, I've got the book here. Zion Ben Jonah, and it is
Wow.
It is a right wing Australian response to a New York Times best-selling series called Left Behind, which is it's a 12-book series. I'm aware at the moment.
Yeah.
Also, there was a film released a couple of years ago where Nicolas Cage is the main character. So, I mean, we're talking quality all the way down with this. But this is, it's proving to be a really interesting peek into kind of the, into a certain sort of conservative Christian mindset. And they're just, I mean, some bits of it I just find fascinating. In fact, as I've got it.
It's almost like you prepped this.
Yeah, tell me. I'm
Professional.
going to give you a little reading. It took 2 pages for this to happen. So just to give you like a bit of a background, what's happened is man tried to fly into America, get turned around because all the bombs are on America. Man's family hide in basements. The wife starts thinking to herself, she would have been prepared for the rapture, as in everyone gets taken away straight up to heaven, don't do any of the suffering. It's not how it's going down. And she's just thinking to herself, all of the suffering she'd been told was reserved for someone else, for someone more appropriately suited to suffering, like the Jews. After all, they have more practice than the rest of us when it comes to suffering. So that was kind of yep. So that's bottom of the second page. So just kind of, I mean, that's kind of one of the tick boxes, isn't it, for conservative Christianity? It's like got to get the anti-Semitism out nice and quick. And then just as a point of really nice writing, there's a German character. I'll try not to do it with the accent, but it's just the way the dude writes it.
Do the accent.
We want it with the accent.
So the pilot I mentioned, he is in Heathrow, and he's sort of stopped by this dude who gives him a book saying the fall of America. This is hours after it happens. So he's like, oh, how does this happen? And so goes to talk to him. And it is, the dude takes some time describing the man who's a German with a heavy German accent. Still, he feels it's necessary to write the dialogue thusly. We study Bible prophecy, said the softly-spoken little man, and we pray. We have been saying...
I'm sorry, is he also a count in Transylvania? It's Gary Oldman.
We have been saying that this would happen. We have been saying it for a few years now. It is most imperative that you read this book. His brow was wrinkled in an almost exaggerated show of seriousness. But then, how could anyone possibly exaggerate the seriousness of what just happened in America? The young German went on dramatically. Other things are coming too. Very serious things. And I have to point out, those last three words are very serious things. That's how it's... very serious things. It is...
I can confirm that whoever typed this was leaning on the Z key a lot.
Yeah. And it's just like... other things is other things. And so this is just quality writing. I'm going to have so much fun reading it. Also, at the end of every chapter, the dude kind of goes... There's a section called Zion Ben Jonas Says, where he kind of talks about his reasoning and his he kind of does some vague biblical referencing. It's like, this is why we're doing this.
It's like a DVD commentary for a book.
Yeah, it's exactly that. So this is proving quite fascinating so far. I can't wait to see what happens.
You know what you've done? You've just made my shits last 10 minutes longer. This book is currently living in my toilet.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Read it. Have yourself a time.
I will. Polly.
What was that? Greg, then? What have you been up to, mate?
Well, after the party that we had on Friday night, I went home for a nap, just a few hours, just make myself slightly better. Mm-hmm. And then I did it all over again.
Oh, yes.
Oh, you went to the after party that I didn't go to.
Yeah. It wasn't really an after party, it was just other people coming around that missed out on this party.
Oh, okay.
And no, bad. I felt really, really, really bad the next day. Pretty much, I finally got some sleep at some time, and I woke up and I was just like, I feel like death has just made its home inside me.
Well, I mean, this is the thing. When you do things correctly, it does hurt.
Oh, yes. But other than that, no, I just spoke,
Cool.
Slip, slap, slap.
Well, I mean, as this is her first appearance on the show, shall we have Bex draw one from the hot pots?
One from the hosts. Dead air.
Sorry, I'm just enjoying the fact that I'm kind of hitting the tables is not reverberating through the mics.
Oh, fuck yeah, we got a new table.
I did wonder where you were going with that sentence. You just omnibus pause. I'm enjoying touching. Pause.
The table.
The table, yeah, that was a bit...
Oh, sorry, I'm sorry.
That's right,
I am.
Let's go back to old school.
It adds to... it's like a trailer. It's got that noise in the trailer.
It's like, what's it?
A
Lost.
man.
It's the lost noise, isn't it?
No, it's
the thing.
Oh, it's more like it's Law and Order, isn't it?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Right, do I say whose name is on
Yeah,
this
yeah,
question?
absolutely. If it's on there.
I'm just checking because I don't want to incriminate anybody.
Oh no, we did that
It's their
ourselves.
own fault. Yeah.
So, to be honest, it's not a particularly incriminating topic. It says best Monty Python sketch, which immediately I'm going to say...
that's a proper measure of a person.
Oh, this is yeah.
What are you gonna say?
Go for it, Bex.
my first instinct, although I know it isn't really the best, but my one I love the most is the Killer Bunny Rabbit.
Yeah, it's Holy Grail.
Holy
Yeah.
Grail. Well, I love the whole of the Holy Grail, but the killer bunny just makes me happy. And every time I see like a little
pointed teeth.
you get little like plushy, cuddly bunny rabbits, and I now, ever since I saw that, attack people at the neck with them. That's
Of course.
just what you do with such things.
When you go see the what was it, the Monty Python
Spamalot.
Spamalot,
Yeah.
they were selling hand puppets that are the rabbit that you do that with, and it's got like it's basically a giant clothes peg in it or a bulldog clip or something. So you've got that, but it really clamps onto things. It's really quite vicious.
See, if I was ever going to be a serial killer, that would be
That
my
would-
That is
Lovely.
exactly how I would kill my victims.
Kill a bunny rabbit hand.
God, that should be a topic.
Well, they'd just be,
If you
they'd
were
be
a serial
dying,
killer,
going,
what would you do?"
that's a good joke. I get it. Yeah, you know.
Oh, reference. Eddie?
The funniest joke in the world being translated into German.
Oh, yeah. The funniest joke in the world is pretty good.
How does he smell? Awful.
See, I'm always been.
Meinen Hund ist.
I think my favourite is actually a Terry Gilliam skits. It's from The Meaning of Life.
Flashes?
Sorry.
Flashes?
No, it's The Leaves.
Oh.
There's towards the end of the film. There's just a cartoon of I'm sure like everyone's seen it, but I'll go through it anyway. Just a tree with leaves on it, and then you just hear, "Oh no, I can't take it anymore! I can't take it anymore! I've got to end it all! I've got to end it all!" And then a single leaf just kind of detaches from the tree and drifts down.
It goes,
Poof. And then like another leaf goes, "Oh, Nigel, where is he? Oh no, Nigel, what have you done? Why have you gone? I can't live in a world let it go!" And then this is followed by, "Mummy, Daddy, Mummy," like sort of a couple of voices, and then two leaves kind of detach, go, "Ah!" And there's a second of nothing, and then just like all the leaves just go, "Ah!" And you hit the-
it's a very Family Guy sort of finale of that joke, where everything just falls far too quickly.
Have you seen the DVD commentary and all the extra scenes and stuff that he did?
No, I
It
haven't.
I can't
I've got it in the front room. I've just never actually done it.
He did a load of extra stuff where he basically took all of the footage that they never used, which he was exceedingly bitter about the fact they'd never used it, despite the fact he spent hours and hours animating it all, and he just made shit up over the top of it, intermingled with complete rants about, I don't even know why I'm showing you this, no one's ever used it, blah, 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 and it's just absolutely amazing.
Oh no, that sounds pretty good. We'll have to check that out. Yeah, stick it on the list, Ed.
Will do. Yeah,
And the other one is the is it the camouflage sketch.
Camouflage sketch.
Yeah, it's I can't remember the wording of it, which is a
This
shame.
is Mr. Johnson.
Oh, it's How Not to Be Seen.
Yes, how not to be seen. That's
At
the
the
one.
start of Another Something Completely Different.
Yeah.
Number 7, a lark.
My
Sorry.
my favourite one is always going to be the cheese shop.
Yes.
Oh,
The
yes.
cheese shop.
So they guy walks into a cheese shop, and there are two gentlemen in the corner dancing, and they're dressed in sort of, I don't know, lederhosen almost.
Yeah.
And are they playing the violin or something?
It depends which version you're talking
Right,
about.
so there's like
It's like
there's
pump
like some
music.
fiddle or some like annoying music, but it's very slow. And just these two people doing this made up traditional dance in the corner. And he goes up to the counter, and it's a cheese shop, and they have a nice little conversation about how it's the best cheese shop ever. And he asks for some Edam, and he says, "Oh no, I haven't got any Edam." And then he just goes through it. The sketch just goes on and on and on and on with him listing cheeses and asking for them. And eventually John Cleese just goes, "Right, I'm going to ask you whether you've got some cheese. And if you say no, I'm going to kill you." "Have you got any cheese?" "No." Gets out a gun and shoots him.
Yeah, I've seen that. That is
I do love the cheese shop.
I think for me it's between two. It's the upper class Twitter of the year,
Oh yeah.
which just is fabulous. But I think the one that just clinches it is the rich Yorkshireman. Back in my day,
Yo, yes.
When I was a lad, we used to
Walk
dream of a paper bag. We used to live in a hole.
Now, Eddie,
You had a hole? I remember waking up half an hour before we went to bed.
Well, 24 hours down mill and pay mill owner for right to do it.
And then actually Eddie, like, last week, the week before, played us Amnesty International's 40th
We know
anniversary.
where you live.
DVD, where it was Eddie Izzard, Alan Rickman,
Vic Reeves,
Harry
Enfield.
and Harry Enfield doing the sketch.
Really? I need to see that.
I'll lend you the
Hilarious.
DVD.
Oh, please.
no, it is fantastic because like
Rickman's on script and no one else is.
yeah, it's
Vic Reeves gets 2 lines in and just goes, "Bored, we're mad there. We would live in a McDonald's carton in the middle of the A3." Just off on one. And Rickman's like,
no, it's Harry Enfield. It kills me. It's just like
"Up to mine.
up to the mine every time.
Get up to
Fantastic.
the crack of dawn. Go up to the mine."
So I suppose my favourite Monty Python sketch is not done by Monty Python.
Although I will say the Bruce the Philosophers
Sorry.
from Monty Python Live at the Hollywood Bowl. Bruce from the.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Oh,
Emmanuel Kent was a real pissant. It was very
yes,
Fucking
yeah.
love that.
Not
Very
seen
good.
that in so long. I need to rewatch
It
these.
totally
Yeah.
holds up. It really does.
Yeah.
Add it to the list.
Albatross.
Greg, what you got?
I hate to tell you this, but I've only actually watched The Life of Brian.
Kill him.
So what was your favourite from Life of Brian? And it better be good.
Well, I watched it when I was 10 and I forgot what
He's
it's,
not the Messiah.
Greg, you're on thin ice, mate.
It's now on the list. I'm going to have to watch all of them in a big row.
Greg,
Yes,
the
in
only
in a row.
response you should have given is, what's the John Cleese line where he just goes, I know a Messiah, trust me, I followed a few.
Yeah.
Oh,
Actually, following on from that, the best bit in that whole film is where you have Brian running up the staircase
And
that's
the
incomplete,
alien ship.
falls off and just gets taken away in an alien ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you lucky bugger! It's just
Actually,
for
following
no
on from
reason.
that, it's the really timid speaker he knocks out that's like, yes, and then you take a pedal and you just wire it in and it just makes a chord and then you...
Just we could talk about this forever.
Yeah.
We will.
I'm sure it's great radio.
There's one
Let's play.
version of the dead parrot sketch where he goes in to return the dead parrot and he says, "The parrot's dead. Can I get a refund?" And he goes, "Oh yes, parrot's dead. Here's a new one." End scene.
Yeah, where's that from? It's not the Hollywood Bowl one, is it?
I don't know.
remember.
Now
It's
for
I think
funny.
it's from the Secret Policeman's Ball.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
We've got a quick opportunity for you to kind of redeem yourself, Greg. Thank you.
No.
How are you on 2002-2003 Australian dollar to pound sterling exchange rates?
I'm actually pretty good.
Oh, brilliant. How much would $11.99 be roughly
Your life depends on it.
At that stage,
back in
it was
2003?
2003, it was 44. 44 pence to the dollar.
Right.
That's what it was.
That's quite accurate sounding. Is he just making it up, or
No, the reason I know this.
I'm not going to check.
is he just relying on the fact you're not going to check?
Maybe. No. Actually, the real reason I know this is because in 2003 was when I was first going to move to the UK, and because the pound was so good against the Australian dollar, I just couldn't afford it.
Are you going to move to the UK?
I was. Apparently that happened.
That's okay then. I mean, the only reason I ask is because the price for Survivors by Zion Benjona is in Australian dollars, and I just wanted to know how much people.
It's a bargain at 44p to the dollar.
Yeah, so about a fiver, which considering this is actually like this is a pulp. This is a classic pulp book. Like you can see like the flecks of colour in the pages where it's just recycled magazines.
I think
Yeah,
it's
you
disciples
definitely
that threw
can.
themselves in with the paper mill to give themselves
We'll make
the
you
cause
holy!
of spreading the book.
It's the kind of book that you find like given away free.
I just have no idea where it came from.
It
And so
seems
you
to be,
can't give it back.
it's painted on the same kind of paper that the Jehovah's Witness do all their literature on.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like the way that the price is actually said on the book, though. It says
Yeah.
it says fiction. Not really. $11.99. No way.
Exclamation mark.
Yeah.
Even
This
they
this
think
is
it's too
horrible,
much.
Taran. I literally. I'm not. No.
It's terrible, isn't it?
I don't like that as much.
It's quickly becoming one of my favourite books in the world.
It kind of reminds me of that horrible kind of grey, scratchy toilet roll you got in primary school.
Oh yes, yeah.
The original
When you
recycled.
wipe your
The
arse
writing
with it,
does as
let
well.
us know.
So thank you, Beth, for that one.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got one from Big Al.
Baby.
Promising start. So this starts
Sorry,
with
I have to point out, Big Al made an appearance in our party.
No, we can't tell that story. We can't tell that story. So yeah, good start. Big Al asks, not a topic for the hot pots, which is good thing because it was in the community chest.
Community chest, there we go.
Please message Diola with an image of the Rebel Alliance logo. We are having a galactic battle. The more people you can get to do this, the better.
And
may the force be with you.
May I point out, we did, and then I still put the topic in, so we need to do it again right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Aeroplane mode off, everyone.
Yeah, I can. I was just going to do it on Facebook.
Yeah, do that, and then I'll link it
Are we
to
not
the...
gonna-
absolutely, just do this.
I will
bit.
link the Pot Topic Facebook to Andy's post. I will share it there, and everyone, please comment with a picture of the Rebel Alliance. Everyone getting notifications
Absolutely.
right now.
Yeah, so I mean, this is fantastic. Here, we've got to go through the motions of finding a Rebel Alliance picture.
Go to Google, type in Rebel Alliance logo.
I'm Batman. Oh, look at that Rebel Alliance logo. One of the top searches. Here we go. Send him a different one this time.
Almost like Star Wars is popular.
It's almost like I've done exactly this before, Max. I sent him that one last time. Let's do that one.
I'm texting you. I'm just going to get all the social medias. I'm going to do first. I will edit.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, did it say on the thing that the winner, like whoever loses, has to get the tattoo done? No, they're just having a battle. Oh, that's fine. And sent.
Cool. I've texted him and then posted on his Twitter. So you can search him at Diola_AJO and retweet
And
it
done.
to your heart's content. Cool. We all done with that bollocks.
So yeah, we've all sent our shit off to D,
Yeah.
and we suggest you all do the same. Get him on Twitter at what was that Twitter account? Again?
At DEOLA_AYO.
Retweet.
So next topic, Andy, what you got?
It doesn't say who it is. This topic says weird crushes. I've got a feeling we did this before, but we can do it again.
I'm not sure.
Can you come up with a
Weird crushes.
weirder crush than the one you did last time?
I can't remember what I did before.
No, we haven't done this before.
I'm going to
'cause
guess this is one of yours, Taran.
Yeah, I only
Not
put this in
written
the
your
pot
name
a few weeks ago.
Okay.
Helen Mirren.
That's not a weird crush,
on. No,
mate.
that's purely justified.
She is just yeah, exactly. Like I can't actually form adjectives or similes.
So what have you got? If it's your topic, what have you got?
I was thinking more on the lines of Chris Perkins, the lead designer and head dungeon master of Wizards of the Coast.
I would do him something rotten on a 20 roll.
Oh god, he's absolutely fantastic. He's so good at everything he does, and he's so pretty as well in a really weird
Funny
sort of
and
way.
Bald.
Oh, he's clever, and I would just be in me.
So virile.
Or I'll be in you. I don't mind. I can top or bottom. Or either way, we can swap.
You're very good at roleplay.
So I think he's definitely like one of my weird crushes.
Weird crushes. I don't know.
Tinky Winky from the Teletubbies.
That would be a weird crush.
That would
Is
be
it
a weird
purely
crush.
the handbag, though?
Actually, it's Lala.
Damn it.
It's the hat, man.
God, you're such a
Is it the
hoe.
hat? Which one's the one with the hat? The green one.
Dipsy.
Oh man, he's just eye candy.
You don't know my Teletubbies.
He's
now.
eye candy, man. I don't bother to learn their names.
Go on, we must have some. Bex, you
just
must have a
want some
weird
tubby
crush
custard.
somewhere.
I've had a temporary name blank and I can't remember the name.
Oh, to describe them.
The guy from the Mighty Boosh.
Noel Fielding.
Yeah. I love Noel Fielding.
why did you go for the shit one?
I love Noel Fielding.
There's the other one whose name I can't remember.
Julia Barrett.
There we are. The actual, the good, funny,
hot
talented
one.
one. Yeah.
What, you mean rich? What, you mean rich?
Sorry?
You mean rich?
Which one's Rich?
Bob. Fossil. Rich.
Oh, the American?
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Noel Fielding, you got to
Noel
think for...
Fielding is absolutely lovely, and when you see him like on all the panel shows and stuff, he is just exceedingly witty and sweet and lovely.
Okay, I'll
And-
give it to you on panel shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, fine.
And I've seen him live doing his stage show as well, and there was some parts of that were just amazing, and I wanted to kidnap him and have his love children, but Yeah, I was there with my other half, so I thought I'd best not.
No, I can respect that.
Yeah.
That's the sort of thing that
If
could
he
put a
wasn't
strain
there,
on a
though, you'd be
relationship.
If he
on it.
wasn't there, then
Yeah.
he would have to take me away with the police.
Sorry?
Museum of Curiosity this season. Noel Fielding is the curator.
Oh, okay, cool.
So that's
Well,
gonna be
I actually have to
pretty
listen to it
Yes.
once. Yeah, I don't know. I just like Noel Fielding is just kind of like a gussied up, less imaginative Ross Noble.
But he's lovely. Have you seen him in the IT crowd and he's all goffed up?
Yes, he does make a very sweet.
Don't you
Is
just
that
want to,
what
does
did
make
it?
a very
Is
cute
that
guy.
what
It
did
makes me want to
Bex?
live in a server cupboard.
What's his name? His name's Richmond, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, hi guys.
Richmond's out of the closet, but Richmond can't get out of the closet. Why is Richmond out the closet?
I'll just join him in the closet. I'm fine. It's warm in server rooms. It's fine. Change your clothes.
To be fair, we're all in the closet.
Come on.
Silence.
There must. Now I know I've got other weird crushes as well. I mean,
I have to say, my 10th grade math teacher.
is it a weird crush though? Also, it's
Were
kind
they
of.
in
Well-
10th grade, or were you in 10th grade?
No. I was in 10th
Okay,
grade.
okay,
Yeah, we better put that one in there. Yeah. The reason it is a weird crush is because we really tortured her. Like, we
Is that how you get on?
Figuratively.
So like, come on, lads. If we do this enough, if we're relentless enough, one of us get laid, take us to Stockholm syndrome.
Miss, what's X? Miss, what's X? X is your G.
X is your G.
Spot. I don't know.
You lost faith in your own joke there.
I didn't have a joke to start with. I can't think of anything.
Really? You must. There must be something that you just kind of look
No,
at.
to me, like, all my crushes are justified. JP Anderson from Rabbit Junk. Fit as fuck.
Yeah.
Amelia Arsenic from Angel's Bit. Fit as fuck.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm having trouble with. This weird question. I don't know. Drew Barrymore either makes me intensely angry, or she's pretty alright.
Oh, I do have one, because I watched Bram Stoker's Dracula the other night. Winona Ryder, despite the fact she's shit, she can't do an accent or anything, I'd still fancy her.
That would be most good.
Most good.
Mostly.
Most good.
I can tell you that Kel's used to be Rick Mail.
Oh, that's
real thing
fine.
for Rick Mail.
I don't
like-
think
for
that's
Rick Mel.
weird. Yeah,
No,
No,
Rick,
fair
Rick
enough.
Mel,
Okay,
yeah.
it can be. Do we mean Rick Mel now?
Is that what Kel was
Too
going
soon.
for?
I know. Do you know? Actually, I think my first ever celebrity crush. Yeah.
Jessica
comes under
Rabbit.
this. No, Sally Gunnell.
Really?
Yep. Now,
Is that
kind
a
of
weird crush?
it is kind of a weird crush.
She's
Go
a
back.
fine-looking lady. I think you're doing Sally Gunnell a disservice.
It's just that she is certainly a handsome lass and like a sporting hero, and a credit to.
It's the fact you have to use the
know,
phrase "handsome lass."
There was almost there.
I
quotes
feel I
going.
should be
There
the
was-
lone Sally Gunnell supporter. She's
for
a nice-
for a 7-year-old. It's kind of a there
Sally
wasn't a lot
Gunnell
there.
when she was 7.
No, when I was 7.
Backpedaling, backpedaling.
You're not making it any better.
I mean, if you said as a 7-year-old John Parrott or something, then yes, that would be a little bit weird. However, Sally Gunnell's not that.
Yeah,
weird.
no, I mean, I quickly fucked off Sally Gunnell because obviously Michaela Strachan, obviously,
Every
Yeah,
single
nudge,
day.
nudge.
yeah, absolutely. There's, I don't know what else to say apart from Michaela Strachan.
Okay, so
Oh,
that's not weird.
I'd show her my really wild show.
hey,
Taz, that's not weird. Terry Nutkins, however,
yes.
with like that going on a verbal media.
Has he got? Yeah,
An otter bit off his middle finger.
an otter. It was an otter.
It was
An otter bit of part of Terry Nutkins'
So
finger.
he's like all like that.
Perfect. Well, that was disappointing. I'm disappointed in all of you for not having weird crushes.
Excuse me. A fucking Teletub is not weird.
Not for you.
No.
I've only met you like 3 times, and I know that.
Should I be hurt or proud?
Go for
Combo
proud.
of-
Go for proud.
The thing is, like, you expect this sort of behaviour from people who sound homeless. Greg.
All right, so we've got one out of the community chest.
Community chest.
Aussie Dan says, weirdest wank you've ever had. Now I'm sort of
Michaela
afraid.
Strachan.
I'm sort of afraid of what Taran will come out with.
I'm trying to think of one for myself.
When you were ill.
when I was ill.
When you had mumps.
Yeah, that wasn't weird. That was horrifying. It's just, yeah.
Go on. Pray tell.
Okay, so I got mumps when I was, I don't know, what, 16, 17 or something, because, one of the great advantages of growing up in a homeopathic household, they're all anti-vaxxers. Thanks for the mumps, Mum! So, it started off, it started off kind of, hitting my throat as it's,
Mumps.
as it's wont to do. Yeah, absolutely, mumps. That got quite big. And then, like, it got into my nuts. And I knew my nuts were swelling up, but I'm still a teenage boy. The
Like
fact
now?
that, yeah, exactly. The fact that my nuts are bigger just means, well, I've got bigger nuts, let's wank. Only, like, there's something that happens to the glands, obviously, because there was, like, the point
Okay,
at
I've
which...
changed my mind. I don't want to know this story. The second you said the word glands,
That's the bit that made you weirded. That was the bit.
that was the point where I vomited in my own mouth.
So what like, when you've got mumpsy nuts and you have a wank, what is produced is...
Humpty numpties.
is imagine you've just drunk like a lot, like 2 litres of cola,
Right.
and then you produce some phlegm.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that.
Oh, God.
I mean,
Alien slime.
Fizzy snot.
it's horrible. Oh yeah, no. Apart from the fizzy, there was no fizzy. This is what you were looking at here is entirely fallow. There's no life in it whatsoever.
When you were young, did you play with real Ghostbusters toys?
Are you talking about the goo
Yeah,
tower
the slime.
thing? Yeah.
Is it kind of that consistency? Like, if you pull it, would it become transparent?
No, it wasn't consistency.
Gag.
Oh, it's kind of more.
Did you spunk
did you
gag?
gag?
Taran?
No. No, it's kind of. I suppose it's more comparable to. Is it curds or whey? That's the thin stuff in making milk and
Whey.
cheese and stuff. Whey. Yeah, it's kind of more like whey, but tinted a horrible ochre. Whey.
Was not what you said when it happened.
No. What I said was kind of. I don't think I'm going to be wanking for a while. And then went on to have kind of some of the most, like, the trippiest 2 weeks of my life, because that fever was, wow.
Listeners out there, get your kids inoculated,
I
please.
wonder-
Go out there and
yeah,
get some
absolutely.
jabs. They won't have the weirdest wank known to man.
When it comes to, like, the whole anti-vaxxing thing, actually go and have a look at some studies rather than what people say. Like, doctors of Google aren't really that good.
Look up the
There are
history
things-
of tuberculosis.
Yeah. So, but that wasn't a particularly weird wank. The wank in and of itself was just kind of a teenage boy wank. It was just the results kind of caught me off guard. No, weird wank. I won't say the name, but I was told.
Right, Cal.
One of my mates once told me that they had a wank to poetry. They were just reading some poetry and they got so into it they wanks.
Actually, no.
Which is-
I've heard worse than this. Actually, thanks to the Comedy Button podcast, go out and listen to it. One of Scott Bromley's friends used to draw stick figure porn and then wank to that. I'm kind of annoyed this topic came up today because
Why?
I realised that I can go to Pornhub and use my Google Cardboard and do virtual reality porn.
Oh, sick.
And I was tempted just to experiment today, and then my girlfriend was around, so I didn't. However,
It's like real reality porn, but you.
oh no! Apparently, it's kind of like, well, imagine the same kind of video quality you usually get on tube sites, but then in your face, very, very close. So the further away the person is, it all seems to be point of view porn, from what my research has told me.
It's all GoPros, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of like GoPro on the forehead kind of style porn.
Forehead if you're
So
lucky.
as they get closer, so does the artifacting. So you kind of end up fucking a pixelated version of what a woman looks like.
Interesting.
I'm well up for that kind of interesting experience.
Sounds wonderfully futuristically retro. It's in 3D, but it's pixelated.
I should be
in
well
80s.
into that, right?
Is it possible you were fucking Lady Pac-Man and got confused?
Oh, the fucking bow does it for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm kind of annoyed I didn't go through with that today, because that's research. Actually, Taran, tomorrow, shall we just sit around and watch some 3D VR porn?
Yeah.
You two have an
Yeah, let's do
interesting
it.
relationship.
I'm trying to. I'm sure there must have. I'm trying to think of like all the myriad things I've wanked to in my time, but like it's not that weird Like, because
To you, it's not that weird. I've seen some of the DVDs that you put on.
no, because proclivities are interesting
Lucky the
things.
luckiest
They're fluid entities that just change over time. No, I suppose like one of the oddest wanks I suppose was quite recently, where sort of going to bed, I was just it's kind of one of those where I'm unconscionably horny. I am offensively turned on. There's no way I'm getting to sleep. We're going to bed now, but there's no way I'm getting to sleep because this is just. I mean, this
There's a
has
pressure
to be
cooker in your pants, and you need to pull on the valve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I wasn't.
It's poetry. I'm moved by the beauty of your words.
Tears.
and
Literally tears.
The thing is, like my bedroom's
third
my bedroom's downstairs, and I kind of draw the line at going upstairs for a wank. I don't know why. It's an arbitrary line to draw, but it's one I have drawn, and that was just too much. And like Heather was just like too obviously tired. She would have, I'm sure she would have acquiesced, but it would have been just kind of get
Darling, just like
Which,
you don't
like,
need to wake
that's-
up, just move something. And
I'm not up for that because that's not sex. That's just wanking with someone. So like
Is that the
my
sequel to
solution.
Walking with Dinosaurs?
My solution was like because also like the other thing is wanking to porn where your girlfriend's in the room is kind of rude. My solution was
Kind of. He's not sure. He thinks though.
no,
Isn't it fine as long as she's asleep?
well, my
Just
final
put ear defenders
my
on.
final.
Here you go, darling. Have a nice eye mask. It's relaxing. It's ear defenders. No reason.
No, I think my final solution was just like, okay, hun, I know you're tired, but can you just kind of kneel up for a couple of minutes? I'll just have a look at your chest. I'll have a wank, and then it'll be done with. And like, bless her, she's like, yeah, fine. So it's just a really odd situation. It's like, I'm wanking to live porn. And the person who is doing it is just like,
Just as unenthusiastic as if you went to a live porn show.
oh no, actually, that's a different story.
if you get it on me, I'm going to slap you.
But that was quite an odd wank. So that is my answer to that question.
I have someone else's answer who's not here, and I won't know I've told their story.
Yeah, go for it.
None of you know them, so it's fine.
That's fine. Good.
It's fine. But a friend of mine wasn't particularly technologically savvy, and he got a nice new computer. So the first thing he did with it is he went on the internet and he found one of those campsites. And he was like, this is great. That's a beautiful woman there. Right, we'll get this. And he obviously pulled down his trousers, started his business, thought that's a lovely woman. And at some point he went, oh, nice tattoos. At which point the lady looked up and went, yeah, you too. And he immediately smashed down his screen on his computer because he had absolutely no idea that they could see him.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
I think that was his one and only foray into the land of live webcams.
Just in case he'd accidentally stumble across the same girl ever again.
There's probably sticky tape over this webcam now. I've not checked, but
I'm just going to have another cup of tea.
started well, but I don't think it ended quite how I expected.
Top me up. Have you got any weird wanks?
Top you up, the fucking thing's full.
That'll do. Thank you.
I remember sitting
Bex.
around.
Oh, sorry.
I do remember sitting around just with mates, and I think Bjorn had stuck on some porn, and then was it Bjorn? I don't know. It was about when we were about 15 or whatever, and someone had got up and left the room. And I was like, okay, well, they've left the room. But where we were all sitting on the sofa and the door was open, you couldn't see the person who was standing in the hallway. And suddenly someone realised that the person who'd got up was literally just standing just out of eye shot. So you couldn't see it. Like, are you wanking? No.
And he was out of eye shot, so you couldn't see him nodding as he said no.
Exactly.
I'd have to say this of my own wanking scenarios. I'd say the probably most defined awkward one for me was when I was going out with this girl, and it was that time of the month. And she was just like, I'll just have a wank over your chest, that was fine. But she kept on making all these weird faces while I was doing it.
Well, dude, she's probably just trying to enjoy herself. So, how much can I put this guy on?
He got to the point where
OAP Yorkshireman gurning.
Kangaroo.
he got to the point where it actually turned into a bit of a game of how far she could try to freak me out while I was still trying to make myself calm. It was quite fun.
That sounds like a wicked game.
And now you do that every time.
But the weirdest wank that I've sort of come across is I used to be a manager of a cinema.
Wait, sorry, that sentence.
I used to be a manager of a cinema, and I got a complaint about some guy that was obviously having a wank in the middle of the cinema.
Look, I apologise. It was a long day.
Star Wars, dude. Star Wars.
Having to go
Zootopia.
up to a guy that is most obviously got his wang out having a wank, and then have to physically kick him out while he's still trying to have a wank was awful.
Was it like, even when he's sort of grabbing him by the arm, is he still with the other hand? Still going, I've got to do it.
So close.
Just dragging him away. Just trying not to point him at children.
Pretty much.
A cinema rejection kink.
I'd like a crack at this one, please.
Go for it.
Does a foot job count?
No, it never counts.
No, because
foot job never counts.
you gave yourself a foot job.
No,
well, it's not a wank
I was
then,
given a
is it?
foot job, but it was such an abysmal foot job. I felt the need to take over the reins because it wasn't working, and that's what
Tom's head in hand.
Tom, was this you? Is this actually where your foot thing comes from?
There is a DVD of porn. Looking at me right now with a lady sucking on someone's toes.
Yes.
Yeah, Ed,
I
can you
hate
do me a
this
favour?
shit.
Just get closer to the mic because I don't think Tom
So-
can hear you.
So there were feet,
That's
lots
some other
of
shit.
feet. No, I was getting a foot job, and it wasn't really doing the job. So I thought I'd like.
So it was just a foot then, not a foot job.
Well, it was 2 feet, but
She was kicking him in the nuts, and he was shot the
She
wrong
kept
idea.
missing.
she was just not very dexterous and was missing quite a lot. So I thought I'd take over, and that's what got my detention taken from 1 week to 6.
Nice. Bex, have you got any weird wanking stories that are your own?
Not really. I just mostly have other people's stories because they
fair enough.
foolishly tell me these things.
In the field of other people's
So
stories.
are you of the opinion like, well, do you know what? If I'm going to have a wank, I'm going to be sensitive about it.
I just don't think anything I do is weird, I guess.
Good way to be.
Ah, I see. We're asking the wrong person.
I do remember.
I'll ask the fella. It's like, well, actually, now you come to mention it, there's this ventriloquist dummy, right?
I do remember going over a mate's house back at school, and that he lived in the eaves of the house, and he had the crawl space in the attic.
Yeah.
And we went in there because he like set up a little cotch at the ends. Mm-hmm. We went in there, and sort of halfway along there was this large stuffed bunny rabbit, and we
Was it about to get a lot more stuffed?
Well, it clearly had been, because it had been there for ages, and we'd been over to his place a few times and that, but eventually it got picked up and inspected and just larking around with it, and then it was the crushing discovery of a handmade slit between its legs that was full of Vaseline.
Oh,
It was just
wow.
oh dear.
There was a mate at school, Sean. I don't see him anymore, so I don't mind saying his name. I can't remember his second name, so it doesn't matter. But we were just sort of kind of generally talking about wanking, and it was just kind of talking about like trying to find the thing that was going to be the thing this time. And he was just kind of going, well, I started having a wank and that wasn't quite doing it. So I tried with my left hand to see if that was inside. No, so that didn't do it. So of course, next I tried fucking the radiator, but that didn't do it. And, and then he moved on to something else. But I can't remember what something else was because me, along with everyone else, just went. No, hang on there, 1 second.
Roll back.
1 second there, Sean. You tried fucking the radiator. It's like, well, sometimes you got to just, you need to fuck something, right? Yeah, but a radiator, mate. And it was just the way you tried to slip it in there, as though it wasn't a thing.
Literally.
Hey.
Cool. So is that weird wanking stories done?
I think it is.
All right, Tom, you got something from
An
the
old one.
hot pot?
Yeah, I've got a really old one. It's on a waiter pad.
Ooh.
The topic is, no host name, unfortunately, it's 50 Shades of Grey.
I didn't like it.
It was shit.
I've got a copy in my bedroom at the moment, but
I haven't sacked up enough just to kind of subject myself to it yet.
My girlfriend read it, and she tried so hard for so many nights. This show's great. But kept turning around to me and reading me snippets. And whereas, like, literally emails and text messages, it's so disjointed and it's not a real book, is it? It's no real narrative. There's no...
I didn't read the books. I watched the film. I didn't really like it.
I mean,
The film's only the first half of the book or something?
I have no idea.
I don't know whether the film is even the whole book or...
Well, all the people involved in the film liked it so much that when the writer of the book said she was going to be more involved with the second film, they all quit because they'd rather not do it than get another paycheck.
Right. that's a good...
Because they said that the second... She came in and said that the first movie's not quite enough like the book. And everyone thought the movie was shite anyway, but apparently it was slightly less shite than the book. And they were going to make it more like the book, and everyone quit. Their star actors quit. Their director quit.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Bad.
I can't...
It is hysterical. There was a Twitter feed where somebody tweeted all of the best lines in the book, and I recommend just finding that.
Oh, no, I did see a brilliant kind of infographic of someone... because they did... she did... E.L. James did a fourth one called Grey, which it's basically the first book, but from the perspective of the dude rather than the woman, and they just go through every time, and just there's a huge picture detailing kind of every time this dude's cock agrees.
Yes.
Like constantly, it's like she was looking pretty sexy, and my cock agreed. And
the best one is, and my cock concurred.
Oh.
Me and my half went around for weeks, and anytime we agreed with each other, we were saying that. And
my cock concurs.
It's quite funny until people start looking at you on the bus because they don't get the reference.
Do you concur, Doctor? Yes, I concur. Do you concur, cock? Yes, my cock concurs.
Particularly when I said it, people tend to.
Yeah, I mean, because it's come under fire because it's as a lot of such literature does. It's not a very representative picture of a book. I forget for the second that it started off as fan fiction for Twilight.
Let's not forget that.
Like it's really like a really poor representation of kind of sadomasochistic relationships.
It isn't. It's just a stalker. It's just an abusive relationship.
It's purely
that's the thing. It's
purely
abusive opposed to a relationship.
Yeah, because like nothing
no
gets talked to.
respect.
Because the thing is, like an actual book about an actual like BDSM relationship, that sort of kind of power dynamic, it would be really boring because there's a lot of communication that goes into it. You don't just like arbitrarily decide, I'm going to do this time.
Yeah, you agree Jill Dando's the safe word.
But I can't bring myself to watch it. I can't bring myself to read it because the last time I crumbled to popular opinion and thought, do you know what? I need to see what all the fuss is about with this book. It was the Da Vinci Code. I wasted my life. I wasted that was my read the first time I went on holiday abroad to Spain with Johnny, and that's what I was reading, and so I got to the end of it and just
The Da Vinci Code was just the film was about as enjoyable as like National Treasure.
It's pretty much the same film.
Yeah.
Let's not tar the good name of National Treasure. People enjoyed that film, and it didn't pretend to be anything it wasn't.
Exactly.
This is true.
But what 50 Shades of Grey does, what it highlights is actually kind of a really kind of interesting sexual dynamic in Western society, in that especially if you take into consideration. For instance, erotica has seen just a huge rebirth on electronic formats because now people can sort of just buy it and read on their Kindle and no one can see what they're reading. It's on their Kindle, so it's right up in their face and there's no cover or anything to worry about. So you've seen this just huge resurgence, but so much of the erotica, aside from one thing, there's this thing a big fantasy is animals turning into people. Or the people then turn into the animal and then they fuck. But some of the biggest money spinners are things like Billionaire Baby Maker, or other kind of sort of S&M slave rape fiction, and this this is being read predominantly by women. Like erotica is predominantly because men like porn, men prefer porn, and women prefer erotica. This is kind of just
a stereotype.
It is a stereotype, but it is one of those that's a stereotype for a reason. Yeah, obviously, like.
Well, it's too that they market the books at the women and they market the.
Well, yes.
So it's a self-fulfilling kind of stereotype.
Yeah, absolutely. But what it denotes is, like, if you look at the type of erotica that's being sold, and like the fact that 50 Shades of Grey took off, and it's all about the reader being able to express like their sexuality, but it's done at the behest of someone else. It's done through like the imposing sexuality of someone else, which is kind of it paints this really interesting picture. It's like so much of female sexuality isn't owned by the women themselves,
even when they're writing it.
So why was it so popular?
Because people thought it was a bit naughty.
Yeah, basically.
Is that literally it?
That's literally it. It was an acceptable naughty thing. They didn't know where it came from. They didn't know anything about it. It was just a naughty thing that they were allowed to buy because other people bought it.
Oh, fucking hell, that sounds so
It's
middle
pathetic.
class, it's unbelievable.
And no one had spell checked it, no one had grammar checked it. Like, the book is
The book is fucking Twilight fan fiction.
I like to post.
There's probably a lot better Twilight fan fiction than that, though.
I like to post that was on Facebook that made the point that the Addams Family is a better representation of a BDSM relationship.
Yeah, I mean, if you want,
there is communication.
If you want a book that is fucking naughty and deals with an extreme and kind of very much fictional representation of BDSM relationships, read Story of O. Like that book does not fuck about.
Yeah.
It does not fuck about whatsoever. There's no contracts or anything. Oh, no, technically there is a contract. It's branding. That's kind of literature as porn, the Story of O, which is really interesting. But I find it absolutely fascinating that the suppression of wider female sexuality has gotten to the point that like it's they can't be the sexual aggressors. They can't be the ones having the sexuality. They have to be the receiver of the sexuality, which is I have no idea how to like. It's
more than
a clear
just passive,
issue.
though. It's more than just the female character is passive. The female character losing her virginity is an inconvenience to the dominant stalker male in it. There is actually a passage in it where he takes her virginity and he's basically sort of just disappointed that he needed to get that out the way.
Yes.
And like she's absolutely worthless in it.
Oh god, I don't know that I could read it. I don't know that I could.
Bits are hysterical. Bits will make you like headbutt it, but it's quite a thin, crap paperback.
It does sound like I'd burned it. It really does sound like I'd burned the book. It's not the first time I've burned a book.
I try to be kind of respectful. Authors, anyone who finishes writing a book, I tend to say, well, you wrote a whole book. I haven't achieved that. I've wrote half of a lot of books, but I've never written a whole book. So I should kind of have respect for the fact you've actually written a whole book, but I couldn't do that with this because it was so shit.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
I would actually like to ask a different question that is slightly related.
Go for it.
What is everyone's safe word?
Giordano, we've already
Yeah,
said.
it's still
Yeah. So yours is Giordano. What is everybody else's?
What's yours, Greg?
Spaghetti bolognese.
I don't know. I've never been in the position to really need a safe word. There's kind of if I'm ever.
I'm hardcore, yeah.
I mean, safe words.
Safe words are for pussies.
No, I mean, safe words are kind of more useful when you do kind of have to. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to struggle to put this into words.
Can you put it into guttural grunts?
I mean, yeah, no, sorry. I'm going to have to go back and actually think about that point before I can put it into words. But I've never found myself needing to use one because, like, if I ever get to the point where I'm with a partner and we're pushing it a little bit, like, there's so much kind of subconscious and implicit communication that if anything is kind of going wrong, it's kind of understood quite quickly. And on the rare occasions,
Yeah, she'll kick you in the nuts.
It's not.
Call it a foot job.
Yeah.
Blomkin.
All it will take will be some kind of a hand to appear, kind of
It's the
With a white flag.
no. Yeah.
So I've never really had to use the safe words.
It's
I've never-
more for if the role playing is to the point where you're not acting like yourself.
Yes, thank you.
And if you're not-
Thank you. That's exactly...
actually, yeah, no,
I wouldn't necessarily say that, like, not in all situations, because I've gone down the route of, I had a girlfriend that quite liked the forceful angle of it. Like, her daydream was for me to run in and then,
Just rape her.
in essence,
Yeah. It's funny, you're allowed to say it. It's a surprisingly, distressingly common...
yes. But there was
fantasy.
also the other opposite side of things where I quite enjoy someone being quite physical with me. So you have to know.
real.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, Bex's
No, it's
wording stands.
Sorry.
Bex's wording stands because in like both situations,
That's a very good
you're
way
still
of putting
kind
it,
of behaving in a way that you don't usually behave.
Yeah.
You know, you
Because if she's
Oh.
pretending to be in distress, then you need to know the
It's
difference
when you
between
cross that
pretend
line.
distress and
Yeah.
real
Oh, yeah,
distress.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's when
That's when you pull out spaghetti bolognese.
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah. Well said. Anything else to say on the topic of 50 Shades of Grey apart from fuck?
It all ended up a bit kind of highbrow and eloquent for such a lowbrow
happens
shit
sometimes.
book. Yeah.
And for such a lowbrow and shit podcast as well. I'm quite impressed with us.
New topic?
Yeah, absolutely.
Who? I'm guessing that was from you, Taran. I don't know.
Yes, yeah. That is
Okay,
my
so
handwriting.
Taran again.
I think that was
So you
like.
put in a question that you couldn't answer because you hadn't read it.
I'm sure I had something I wanted to say more specifically at the time, but I put that in within
Drunk.
the first couple
Drunk.
of shows.
You put it in drunk.
No, that
year ago drunk.
That was over the first show or like the first kind of.
Yeah, it
first
was.
five
It
or
was
so.
on a bit of weighted
Yeah.
pad, so
I like
it's
this
definitely old.
nice, beautiful chest containing.
Yes,
I know,
that is
Sophie's
from
gift.
Durons.
It's extra long. that
Thank you,
chest.
Sophie. If you do bring us back some fucking whiskey, I'm going to fucking slap you.
That won't
What one's-
discourage her.
what one's-
I've been there.
Actually, yeah, that's the kind of girl you need some spaghetti bolognese with.
Hit me again, I ain't dead yet.
Fuck you.
Do you want the question or do
yeah,
you
go for it,
continue your
Bex.
flirting?
No. We're going to
Well, I don't
do
know.
our porn now.
I
Yeah.
could do some flirting. Oh, my cum will look so good on your forehead. Oh, it look amazing.
You're going to write your name.
I just trained.
As was era.
Babe,
Exclamation mark, exclamation mark.
babe, when I chap you, your anal blood is going to just look so gorgeous against your eyes.
See, you joke, Bex. I once had to when I was going out with Kel. She was threatening. She's like, "No, I want to get my head shaved. I really fancied having my head
Really
shaved for a
Sinead
while."
O'Connor, yeah.
For a while. And I talked her out a bit, and the way I did so was by turning to her and say, "Look, if you get your head shaved, I'm going to come on your bald pate, and I'm going to write your dad's name in my cum." At which point she went, "No, all right, fine. No worries." Anyway, question or topic?
That's a horrible story. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Not really. I thought I was quite impressed with myself. At no point did I think she was ever being serious in any way whatsoever.
Did she think you were being
it's not-
serious with that threat, though?
It's,
I would have done it. I mean, I absolutely would have done it, but she wouldn't.
It wasn't the kind of serious where she's going to get big, fat, stupid stripper tits. That's a real serious thing.
The topic, dear.
Aussie Dan says sex at festivals.
Damn, this is a steamy episode.
festiaids.
Dear Lord.
See, I can actually answer this one.
Oh, go for it.
It was rubbish for me. It's a rubbish story. But one of the first festivals I ever went to was one of the old Ozfests.
Oh, yeah.
And I'd never really done much camping and sleeping in tents, but I have terrible circulation and get very, very cold. I went with a bunch of boys, went up in the back of a white van. I had to sleep on the floor of a white van to get there. All right, nice and legal. And then I went off and came back, and everyone else there was guys, and they'd set up the tents basically at the far end, away from the loos, surrounded by stinging nettles.
For fuck's sake.
For food, they just basically had meat with no bread and nothing, and like one disposable pound shop style barbecue. So I was basically freezing cold, starving hungry, and ended up wearing everyone else's hoodies. At which point, in this freezing cold tent, in a very shit cheap sleeping bag, my exceedingly stoned boyfriend at the time, who tried to hotbox the tent, which didn't work because it was a bit leaky, decided that it would be a good idea to try and have sex. And I was still wearing about 6 jumpers, and we attempted to zip the 2 sleeping bags together. I shivered for a bit, nothing would work. And there was some grumbling, some complaining, and then went to sleep. And I'd never tried that again.
That's brilliant.
It was horrible. And I hadn't had my eyes lasered, and I had no glasses, I just had contact lenses. So I also had to walk after that to try and get to the loos. And I kept tripping over everybody's tent things and yes, thank you, boyfriend of yesteryear. that was a great idea.
Sex at festivals, if you're single, needs to be done within about the first day, or you need to find someone who is actually that obliterated drunk that you don't care about you, because your personal hygiene after about the first 4 hours of being at a festival just starts going downhill and just gets worse and worse.
And quite simply, your personal hygiene isn't
yes
at a festival.
You don't have personal hygiene.
To be fair, like
really.
me and Greg are very on the personal hygiene of festivals.
Oh, definitely.
We
I showered
queue for
every day.
hours for a fucking shower.
Right,
It was worth it.
you're weird, but
Like, if I could plug in my straighteners, I would have.
They have all like the posh camping bits now at festivals.
And it's glorious.
It's quite easy to sneak into those sections, I've found, and use their lovely showers.
Because
Bloodstock, we definitely camped very close to the showers
Glamping.
for a reason.
Oh, yes.
I'm always very impressed with because Creamfields and dance festivals have sort of that glamour image, or clubbing and dance music has that sort of glamour image. But seeing people peel out of a tent in the morning, and these girls are just completely club ready. They've clearly got sort of travel straighteners and everything.
Oh yeah.
And I'm always extremely impressed at that. But at a rock festival, the personal hygiene just isn't really a thing. Hence festiaids. I know. Me and Buller had sex at Boomtown, but the tent was on such an angle that staying in the same place in the tent was extremely difficult. So we didn't. It just all started at the top of the hill in the tent, because I've got this 10-man tent that's ridiculously huge.
Oh, you slid down to the bottom by the end.
It's bigger than this shed.
Studio.
Sorry, my tent is bigger than
Professional.
my tent's bigger than this studio. But it was so imagine this studio, but on a 30-degree angle. Incline. So it sort of started off at the top of our bedroom and then ended up just in a pile of stuff at the bottom.
Ice skating uphill.
Yeah, just yeah. So difficult at best.
Not worth
and
the
you've got
effort.
and you've got to be really wasted because you're going to be dirty.
I'm ashamed I've never done it. I fucked in tents before. Believe me, I fucked in tents.
My fucker's always in tents.
Was there anyone else in the tents?
Yeah, no one ever gets laid at weddings, Beth, my sister. But I've never... I was really wasted and ended up... The girl had to go sleep in the toilets of the campsite because it was too cold, because I'd stolen her sleeping bag and wouldn't let her have him back.
Ever the gentleman.
I was so wasted.
It was your mum. Because Tom wasn't going to come back to the campsite because
No.
he had a hotel room.
I'd spent an hour convincing Kel that I was not going to go back to the boys' campsite. I was going to stay in the room that was reserved for me to sleep at.
But I told his mum that he was coming back to the campsite. So his mum told him to get out of his suit so his suit wouldn't be dirty from going to the campsite.
Bearing in mind, I just had sex in a muddy car park at that point, so... Never mind.
Actually, I've only ever had sex at a festival once, and that was in Prague. And this was like midday,
Yeah.
and it was just like 40 degrees.
That's got to be horrible. That just sounds horrible. It sounds like having sex in a sauna. It just sounds horrible.
Oh no, sex in a sauna is amazing.
Yeah, sex in a sauna is
I've
great.
had sex in a sauna.
I think I'd
That's
have
great.
a heart attack.
No, you don't even notice the warmth. It's just all sweaty and slidey. Wow, that's way too much whiskey. Shit, sorry.
Oh, yeah, top me up. Lovely, thank you. Oh, yeah, sex in the sauna, carry on.
Well, no, it's just... I basically
slipping
finished it.
slightly,
It's you don't need lube,
I can't-
because everything is lube.
I can't spend more than about 2 minutes in a sauna anyway.
Well, no,
quite
that's
like
because
a
they're the worst
sauna.
places in all the world.
No, saunas are nice and dry. Like, a Turkish steam room is horrible because you can't breathe because it's so humid.
Yeah.
A sauna is actually quite nice and dry,
Yeah.
but it's warm. I like a sauna. I really like a sauna.
I think I
I love a sauna
prefer a
after
steam room, but
workout.
I still can't take that sort of heat for more than about 30 seconds.
To be honest, one of the
If I could take
one of
my
best
laptop
experiences.
into either a steam room or a sauna and it not break, I would basically stay in the steam room or sauna and work all day.
I like a
I
sauna.
don't understand that at
I
all.
like
I'm
saunas.
imagining you in like a sauna, but it being like a reverse, like if in the movies where there's like, I don't know, a virus or a pathogen or something, and you've got those arm things that come through the glass.
Oh, yeah.
There's you in a sauna with just arms coming
the
out
outside world.
to use your laptop.
No, I would put my I would put my desk in the sauna and set up. I'd be there in a suit, and if anyone walked in, I'd be like, "Excuse me, do you have an appointment?" Because that is basically my room at the gym. I could stay in there forever. But whenever I go to a tropical country, like when I went out to Cambodia and stuff, I wore jeans and a top. I was completely fine.
You disgust
Oh,
me.
yeah, no, you're
To the very kind of the very
You're a
base
mammal.
molecules.
You're a mammal. You're supposed to make your own warmth.
No, my mum said when I was born she mistook me for a frog because I was yellow and cold and not
you're
breathing.
well part reptile.
Reminds me of an ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan of saunas at all. If I want to be too hot, I would just drink I'll drink far too much and then go to
No,
bed.
but saunas is the perfect level of
no,
warm.
it's not. It's
No,
it's
terrible.
not, Tom.
No, it's
No,
terrible.
it-
No,
it-
anyway,
it's-
back to festival sex. I've never had sex at a festival, surprisingly. I have, however, had a blowjob at a festival.
Oh yeah, I'll sit next to you.
No, I was sat next to you. as
Tom was
well.
sat next to me.
I was off buying a Lilo.
It was the
Just,
fact that
come
Taran nudged me and went, hey. At which point I looked down and go, oh, for fuck's sake, like Biffy Clyro's on. What the fuck are you doing?
It's like
bollocks music.
getting your head.
Bollocks music, and you're getting head.
Yes, but popular bollocks music, so everyone's paying attention.
Actually, no.
So
it was-
anytime you hear that music now, does it make you a bit?
It was like a Pavlovian response.
Actually, no, it wasn't Biffy Clyro, to be fair, because during Biffy Clyro, I took you to see a monomath for the very first time.
No, we watched Biffy Clyro. It was during something else that we.
I swear it was Biffy Clyro that I made you get up and watch some
You weren't
synchronised
paying
windmilling.
attention, clearly, so I think...
Dude, like, he spent the entire that year at Download completely fucked off his tits.
Oh, it was incredible.
What you can remember.
I can actually remember a lot of it because I did get quite fucked, but it was kind of a constant level of fucked. That it was never too fucked, but it was also always very obviously fucked.
It was enough
But
that
it was-
he managed to be dressed in nothing but a poncho at a festival and still sat upright whilst getting a blowjob and get away with it subtly in the middle of a dust bowl.
Yeah. Oh no,
Right
I
in
have
front of
had
main
sex at a
stage.
festival. No, it doesn't really count as sex, does it? It was a boom. Last day of boom.
The knee crease doesn't count, no.
No, last day of
It was
boom.
the feet.
Where
Toe jam.
no, it was in the lake. Like,
I've never heard it called that before.
Yeah, take up the lake.
You should get into bed with my wenchie. Yeah, no, I mean, we hadn't had, weirdly enough, because, hippie festival, you think fucking everywhere. But no, we didn't just get round to it because we were just constantly fucks.
It was on the to-do list.
It was on the to-do
The
list.
first thing was
And, like,
smoke, so you didn't...
Heather Blesser took it upon herself. She's like, okay, let's get this off, scratched off the list. Like, we're quite deep in the lake. And
Deep in the lake, are we?
Plenty deep.
like she's been kind of like holding on to me, like arms around my neck and legs around my hips for a while, and then I can't remember really how it happened. But at some point, I do know at some point, like I'm inside her, and it's like she's very excited about the whole thing. Like, look, we're having sex at a festival. And it's like, well, yes, but it is, like, we are in water, so, oh god, it's so dry. It's like, oh, yeah. So, like, do you know what you read, like, with sex, just dry?
Yeah.
You know, the dry? Like, you get in there, and, like, I love it. I love how warm and dry it is. Like, it's like, oh, you can feel every single bit of friction, because it's so dry. And it's just like, oh, this is the hottest thing. This is like, oh, this is so dry. And then I sort of turned to her and said, like, well, like, we got to stop this, because I'm not going to come in the lake, because someone will swim and they'll get it in their eyes or in their mouth, and I really can't live with that.
That would do
this
it
place
for me.
is too
I'll
nice.
be honest, that'll do it for me.
What, you go swimming, you do the front crawl, and then
No,
you
the idea of
swallow
coming-
a load and just go, ooh, and then you come yourself.
The secret cum shot would do it for me.
Those are my experiences. But it's like festival sex has just never really seemed like a particularly good idea.
Well, no, because we're always fucked at festivals.
Always
I
fucked and
concur.
always filthy.
My cock concurs.
Cool. Lovely.
Thank you, Aussie Dan, for that topic. That was a very good topic, mate. Was it me?
Absolutely, yeah. Andy, I believe you got something from the hot pot for
One
us.
from the host.
Let's see if it's got anything to do with sex.
Yeah,
or
it seems-
Monty Python.
Unfortunately not. It is from star contributor Darren.
Oh, shit. We're in for a treat.
And it's
I
not
don't-
about sex.
I don't think this is that bad a topic.
Okay, go on.
Okay. If you could be the lead role in any one of your favourite films, which would it be?
And this
Who would you be and why?
This is very similar to the topics we've done before, where it's if you could be in any universe, which universe would you live in? But I
it's
suppose
different. It is different.
This is being a character.
yeah, it's just like being the character. I mean, it's odd in a way because like, why bother? You already know what the character does. It's already laid out for you.
No, there's good reason for that.
Go for it.
Okay. Del Toro's role in Usual Suspects, the one where he's just like, I'll flip you off for real. I would love to be that character. None of you know Usual Suspects then. You give me that.
I haven't seen it in ages. Do you know what? Danny Dyer's character in Severance might be quite entertaining.
Fuck, the like completely acid trippy.
Yeah. I actually know some terrible things happen.
Also, the same.
But then
with
some
Del-
really good things happen.
The same with Toro's. He gets killed and buried in a cave on a beach. Like,
Yeah. Bex, have you got anything?
Not that's particularly eloquent or paints me in a good light, but any character that would enable me to see Elijah Dushku naked, really.
That's fair.
Good point.
I don't really care what my character is.
next topic, Becky's one.
Yeah.
Becky.
I would have to
I was just waiting for the other penny to drop there.
What is going on,
Bex,
Tom?
I'm so sorry.
He did say during the break that he just can't talk today.
I can't. My brain's not functioning. I
And to
do
think,
apologise.
I avoided telling any wanking stories because they all involved your sister, and I really shouldn't have been that nice.
Same here.
My sister or your sister?
You were a fool. Those are exactly the sort of stories we need to come out. Actually, no, she just censored them, wouldn't she?
I'm too nice, even though
Bah.
he's clearly an asshole.
I'm so sorry. I feel awful.
If I wasn't enjoying this lovely Ribena, I'd pour it on you.
So, did you know the Cavendish banana is in danger of going extinct within 10 to 30 years? The Cavendish banana is like the general banana that we all eat. We all know. We all
I
love.
thought this was your safe word.
No. I'm just like I'm bored with that topic, so I'm going to talk about bananas for a bit. So the Cavendish banana is the banana we all know, but this is like still a relatively new banana because before like the Cavendish, it was the Gros Michael or the Big Mike banana,
The Big Mike, yeah.
which is the sort of banana you saw on Carmen Miranda's hats. But that went extinct because tropical variation 1 of this fungus came and wiped it out. So we all went over to the Cavendish. But right now we're dealing with the problem of TV4. Tropical variation 4 fungus coming and wiping out all bananas, and they can't really do anything about it.
But this is the thing, okay, so all bananas are clones of the same banana. We used to have Big Mike, now we've got the Cavendish banana.
Yes.
Right? So if all bananas are clones of each other, how could one disappear and we get another one? There must be several out there.
Oh no, I mean there are many species of banana, but all the Cavendish bananas we get are all from cloned plants.
Yes, but
enough. But there are other species of banana,
We just
which
don't farm
incidentally,
we just don't farm them. So they are out there, wild bananas that we've just never even bothered with.
yeah. But unfortunately, like, even these other breeds aren't particularly resistant to this
So,
new strain of the
for
fungus.
each species of banana, there is only one. And they're all cloned to each other.
I can't speak for all of them. I believe that's more or less the case with the Cavendish banana, and they've been trying to like sort this out with splicing, but like they're well, it is resistant to TV4. But the seeds are massive, or it's got ears. Yeah, exactly. So like we're in very real danger of
more bananas,
of losing bananas. Like
no more banoffee pie.
like our kids will grow up not really understanding like the banana slip gag.
But they won't have no bananas. They'll just have another. We'll just go to another one.
As things stand,
bananas in the supermarkets now, which can't be the same banana because there are different species of banana. They're smaller.
As things stand,
ladyfinger bananas.
as things stand, there's not really a viable banana source that is that's resistant to the TP4 strain. It's currently being it's currently being quite like maintained and just held within Asia. It hasn't made its way over to South America yet, which when it does, we're all fucked. No more bananas. Bye bye.
But someone made the point of banana penny sweets. Well, they were Big Mike. So banana penny sweets don't taste like bananas anymore because they were based on Big Mike.
I thought it was just a purely
really?
Not the new bananas.
chemical thing.
Sorry?
I thought it was just a synthetic chemical flavour that sort of
I don't know.
resembles a
It was a
banana.
Facebook post, so I don't know how much reality there is.
Reliable.
But it was like, I liked the idea that the banana penny sweets don't taste like bananas because they did taste like bananas, but that was Big Mike bananas.
That was
Whereas
70s bananas.
Now we're on Cavendish
on the Cavendish, yeah.
bananas. But I don't quite. I also love the fact that bananas are herbs.
Yeah, absolutely.
technically.
Giant herbs.
Also, they can walk like about a metre in their lifetime.
Yeah, they walk quite far.
They take a little stroll. Anyway, I hope that answers your question, Darren. Greg, have you got something from the community chest for us?
Do you know, I just realised this community chest is just large enough for a 12-inch dildo.
Or a bottle of
it is
whiskey.
from Sophie. So
Did you clean the box before you started using it?
Well, it came with a whiskey in it.
tongues.
So
You're
I
probably
figured we would
safe
say-
that it
Bex,
didn't.
Bex, it's well and truly sanitised.
Oh, from the box maker herself. From Sophie 2016.
Hey, you're right, babe.
Of all your hopes and desires for this year, which one is the most important to you?
Yeah, have a job that's not in theatre. I think like that's my ultimate
well
aim
done,
for
yeah.
this year.
That's a good one.
Like it'd be quite nice if I could get Tim finished or mostly finished or kind of get it drafted. But ultimately, like this year is about getting out of theatre for me.
Yeah.
Or failing that, finding a position in theatre that I can DOS and then kind of start doing studies for editing.
Yeah, I'm very similar vein. Although I've come to realise that retraining will take a little bit longer than I wanted, simply because there's no way I can get the right amount of time off work. Or the idea is to save up and then ditch the job in and just do the retraining a bit quicker. But that's but basically my aim is to get it started.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, you could save up and just try and go part-time and then have more time for...
Yeah, I could do. But it's about the idea of taking block weeks to do the examinations and the testing and whatever.
Yeah, I mean, so you're pretty much in the same boat as me. It's like you're in a position where it kind of... So I've gotten to this point in my life, and it was good for a bit, but ultimately I've fucked up. So it's time to... It's not fucked up, but things haven't worked out as I was hoping. For me, it all comes down to a back injury. I suppose for you, it's because you realise you didn't really you weren't interested in soil mechanics.
Yes. So
For
yeah.
the listeners, you trained to be a civil engineer.
I went to uni and I did some civil engineering. I also did a shitload of drinking. And it was quite
Amen,
fun.
mate. I did some computing science, but my major was getting fucked up.
Yeah, and it was I went to uni a bit early. I was a bit young.
Yeah.
Really, I wasn't ready
Agreed.
to go to uni,
Yeah.
and I went there and I didn't get on with it properly, and I drank loads. and then I sort of drifted for a bit, and now I'm just sort of starting to plan where to go next with things, which is quite nice. But I'd like to get started on retraining. That'd be nice, just to get it started this year.
Yeah. I see your point with that one, because I'm also doing the same thing. I've just finished doing my certificate, and I'll be moving towards doing my diploma. So over the next few months, it's all about convincing my bosses to pay for that. Cool.
Lots of eyelash fluttering there.
Eyelash fluttering.
Let me sign on the bottom line.
Just tell me how many other employees have written their names under the desk.
I'm soon to find out. But yeah, that's what it's mainly about. It's doing towards that, and then at the same time, not losing my focus about going and visiting all the countries that I really want to see. Otherwise, I've just lost the perspective of originally moving here for.
Yeah, fair enough.
So you originally came to England because you want to see Europe, or?
It's just generally easier to fly to places from England than it is Australia.
Well, yeah, because Australia is fucking the world's equivalent to out in the sticks. Like, you couldn't get more far removed from anything apart from maybe Eastern Asia.
Yeah. When there's nothing fun happening there.
Oh, not at all, Bangkok, motherfucker.
Yeah, but that's still 14 and a half hours away on the plane.
What?
Really? What? No,
Yeah.
it can't be.
From Brisbane to get to Bangkok, it's 14 and a half hours, and that's...
What are they doing? Sailing? How the fuck is it 14 hours?
Because it's still...
Kangaroos, mate.
Shrimp pound and jets, mate.
So you got to hop on the back of one of those billabongs. It'll be fine.
All it takes is for when you're in takeoff and one confused drop bear to go flying into an engine.
But yeah, so that's my own.
So you want to travel more?
I do. I'm
This year?
This year, well, obviously we're going to boom, so there's Portugal.
So basically you're going to take a trip. Let's put it that way.
We're going to have fun. And then I'm hoping near the end of the year to hit up Barcelona. If I get the money over the next couple of months, I'm just going to do a trip to Paris.
Why?
Or to Paris.
Barcelona.
No. Barcelona, I'm with you, Taran, but Paris is actually quite a cool city to go hang out in, go to clubs, go and enjoy yourself in.
Well, the
Why
beauty
do
about
all the
Paris,
Parisians I meet tell me, I'm so glad just not to not be in Paris.
Because the ones that you meet here are the ones that didn't like Paris, so they moved here.
I want to go.
Fair enough.
I want to go to Paris
He's
to go.
defeated you with logic.
I want to go to Paris to hang out with the ravers that I've met who have gone back to France, and then go hang out and have a really good rave with them.
Yeah, exactly. I've got some friends from uni that live in Paris.
Although I will put this out there, Paris is the only city I've actually seen someone jump off a building and commit suicide in.
Oh, really?
That was a really fun year 8 trip to Paris.
Let's have this story out.
Well, it's
Actually, first, cider, please.
sure. It's
Cider
basically
with a slice of therapy by the sounds of it.
No, I mean, it deals with suicide, so it's cider with a slice of wanking. Thank you.
But when it comes down to it, Barcelona is all about Gaudi.
About what?
Gaudi.
The architects.
Yeah.
The architect. It's all about seeing all of his really unusual architecture. That's what I loved about Amsterdam, is the way that all the buildings were sort of made to fit each other.
Mate, that's not what I loved about Amsterdam.
Also, that's just how the buildings looked by the end of the trip.
Sorry. Going back to this year 8 suicide.
Oh no, this is actually on a coach full of at least 30, 40 year 8, which is what, 12, 13?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Year olds. Going past the building as we see there's a few police cars and an ambulance and a crowd gathering around the building. And it's clear that something's going on, and we're kind of stuck in traffic because everyone's like rubbernecking at what's going on. At which point we have like row D, aisle 6 through 12 rows in the cinema kind of view for this kind of front and motherfucking centre to a dude standing on a ledge, throwing himself off and hitting the tarmac.
Whoops.
A coach full of 40, 13-year-old boys, because I went to an all-boys school. My lord.
Yeah, I bet. That's interesting.
1, we all went, way! 2, we all kind of felt really bad instantly. And yeah, that's something that haunts my nightmares.
I know this is a bit of an odd question, but how many floors was it? Because the higher the floors, the more likely it's going to bounce.
No, it was a good at least 10, 12 floors. It was a high building.
Yeah, you don't start bouncing until you hit like 30 floors plus.
Yeah, no, there was no bouncing. There was a definite splat. Let's put it that way.
That reminds me. Unfortunately, it wasn't my story because I wasn't on that particular coach. We had our own other story of this trip to Belgium. We went to Ypres to see the trenches and whatnot. But like we got held up. But when we got back, there was this one coach. They were sort of telling this story about. So like we're on the coach and we're at the border about to get on. I can't remember if it was ferry or train at that point. But we're in the queue and somebody looks out the window and looks down into the car next to them, and they see there a dude just in the queue, just casually having a wank. So it gets all their mates to kind of like come have a look, like, look, there's a dude having a wank. At which point the dude kind of, I don't know, is obviously kind of becomes cognizant of the movement, sort of looks up at the kids looking down at him having a wank. And it just sort of returns to having a wank. So, the question which was?
What are you looking forward
to? Yes, this year.
Looking forward to, hopefully no more stories like the ones I've just heard.
You've got a very dire outlook for the year.
I was going to say you're optimistic.
I'm hopeful and slightly, in defiance of reality.
I remember that because you still invited me to come onto your channel at some point and talk about zombies. So I'll think of something.
Yeah, but the channel is mostly what I'm hoping for this year, because I'm now, after many years of just working myself, I absolutely grinding myself into nothing by working like up to 2 full-time jobs at once. I now want to do things I find fun. It seems a crazy notion, but somehow I think that it might be a good idea to do things I enjoy doing that kind of challenge me a bit and could possibly not be shit. I'm not, going to oversell it or anything.
Keep those expectations low.
But yeah, I want to do more artwork, more painting. I paint with acrylics. I didn't paint for 10 years. I then started about 5 paintings, which still aren't finished the other year. So one of my attempts is to finish the paintings I started the other year, and hope that they won't be too shit. And also just continue doing the YouTube really and get more people on there. I'm trying to interview more like independent comic people and writers and people making their own like little grassroots TV series and stuff. Like, so I'm not just going to do like all the big stuff. I've already got a couple of interviews up from like London Super Comic Con and stuff like that. And just talking to people. Like there's a guy I met called Ryan Jenkins, and him and one other dude made a comic book, just the 2 of them, as their own self-published thing, about a alien space astronaut who's a cat who crash lands into 1950s America and is adopted by a small child.
Awesome premise.
Actually, that
sounds pretty solid.
It's called Whiskers McFadden, and he's a full-size, like, adult male human cat in clothes who's been adopted by this small...
Brilliant.
And it's just, the stuff like that's just awesome. It's stuff that some of it I've not heard of, and I'm going up to these people, I'm getting to know people, and they're telling me what they're doing, and I'm just like, I would never have heard of this stuff if I wasn't doing this channel. There's another, some people I talked to, and one of their comic books is called Afterlife Inc., about a con man who goes to the afterlife, finds it's being awfully run, and decides he's going to take over, and he's going to run the afterlife like it's his business, basically, and he's just there in a suit, taking over things. And I was just like, I never would have heard of that if I wasn't doing this. So it's like, it's not just like the stuff I can put out there, which hopefully, as I said before, won't be too shit.
Yeah.
And other people might enjoy, but I'm finding things that I never would have found before, because it's giving me a reason to go up and talk to all these cool people that are actually making stuff.
That's very cool.
And yeah, that's it really. More of that.
Weirdly enough, it's one of the first times in my life where I've kind of got a plan for what I want to do with the year. Is it like timely question? Because I've never really had
a plan.
No.
It's never.
We're all
getting grown up.
Oh.
Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
I'm 30. I'm
Not
not
you.
growing up.
Take it back. Just take
In
it back.
fact, my hope for this year is to make sure I get some D&D in. I'm going to do some fucking Gamma World.
Oh, I can be Norbert.
Done. I'm going to make sure I play more games than ever and get some D&D in my life.
Has Pop Topic as an entity got a hope and a dream for this year?
To be honest,
I mean, the table has been a great improvement, and we're all proud.
The table has been a vast
We're all
improvement.
proud of the table.
I think
Beautiful. It's a thing of wonder.
I was thinking about having a Pot Topic AGM where we bring in the host and we actually say what needs to be done for the next year.
We're going to have minutes.
Sold.
Can someone propose it? Can someone second it?
Basically,
Is anyone sober enough to write it down?
I'm going to give out those jobs that I don't want to do to everyone else. So it's going to be like me being at work.
So delegating, which is exceedingly grown up and the opposite of what you said you were going to do.
Yeah, but we're doing
Damn
it.
it, I'm 30.
We're doing it. We're doing it in a very irresponsible, drunken way, so it's fine.
Absolutely. I suppose like one of my goals could be just to get a laptop, an actual laptop, rather than like a little tablet that I can write.
Motherfucker.
So that I can start doing podcasts.
Fuck that shit. We've got 2 TVs in our front room.
Yeah.
My plan for this year is to have
another
my
TV.
fucking 980 Titan fucking gaming rig hooked up to a TV. That is my plan for this year.
And then never leave the room again.
And never leave
980 Titan. I don't know the.
NVIDIA graphics card.
Oh, okay. Oh, right. Fine.
Basically, all the VR ever.
They give
Basically-
names,
yes,
it's still just a
yeah.
graphics card.
We could wank ourselves silly on some porn. Right, so, next topic.
Yeah, I believe you pulled something from
Thank
the
you, Sophie,
the
for
hot
that.
pot.
Yes, we got one from Beth, and it is tea or coffee.
Tea.
Coffee.
Shut up.
Neither.
Tea. Fuck off. All of you die. It's tea.
Coffee.
No.
100% coffee.
Tea.
Hot chocolate with marshmallows in.
Hot drinks can go do one.
Yeah, you're not
Even
a fan.
hot chocolate?
You aren't a fan.
I drink hot chocolate once a year, and that's like at Christmas.
Too
I'll have
often.
a hot chocolate as I'm sort of wandering around looking at Christmas lights in London or whatever, and I'll have like a hot alcoholic punch or mulled cider or something on fireworks night, and they are
Yeah.
the only 2 hot drinks I'll drink each year.
To be
It's-
fair, my hot chocolate's not really hot chocolate because I do just get green and blacks and just melt it
Oh,
into some
Bex.
almond milk and then fill it with marshmallows
I-
till there's no room. So it's sort of a spoon kind of affair.
Bex, to make up for the fact I've been calling you Becky all night for some reason,
Yeah.
I will sit you down and I will make you my Mars bar hot chocolate.
Well, I can't have that because I'm allergic to
Damn
milk,
it.
which you should also know.
Almond.
can't use-
Almond? No, I can't do it with Mars bar.
No, they can't use the Mars bar. I appreciate the attempt, but you failed.
My girlfriend's lacto and gluten and intolerances to everything. My mum, and I'm still annoyed that I'm still annoyed that I'm still annoyed that
Fuck you.
my mum came up to me and
You're
said, "I haven't bought you an Easter egg this year," and I was really annoyed at that because she bought my girlfriend 2. But they were milk free, gluten free, wheat free, everything free Easter eggs.
Yeah.
So I was really confused as to what was in them.
Magic.
Yeah.
Air.
Magic and
It-
air and dust
It's-
and
Cardboard.
space
Like
dust.
Coca solids and soy.
To be honest, I woke up this morning and I had the best breakfast ever, which was Bovril toast with soya cheese grated on top of it. It was lactose-free,
Yeah.
gluten-free cheese.
Yeah.
It was just amazing.
It's gotten so much better because when the doctors first said to me, "Stop fucking eating all the stuff you're allergic to, you idiot,"
Yeah.
in slightly more scientific words, but not much. There really wasn't that much for me, but because all of a sudden it became quite a fad
Yeah.
to not have this stuff, and to start with, that really annoyed me because everyone kept acting like it was a choice. I have no choice.
If I eat this, I will implode.
Well, I've got a milk allergy, and it brings me up in blisters, like all over my arms and my back and stuff. It's a bit more annoying.
Yeah.
Just a bit.
Just a tad annoying. It's not, it's obviously not like a peanut allergy or any of that shit. But there was like nothing for me. But now, because everyone else has jumped on this bandwagon, I know I've cut this out of my diet. I could eat it, but I'm just not going to. And I'm like, motherfuckers, I'd eat that if I could. And it's made this sort of like niche of just overpriced, very tasty nonsense that contains nothing but
absolutely,
magic.
Yeah.
And that's quite handy when it goes.
Yeah,
some of it's
Even I can put my hands up and say Mrs. Crimble's macaroons are fantastic.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I can't eat those anymore. The bastards. They say may contain milk now. I used to be able to eat them. I
What
can't
may
eat them.
contain milk
Actually,
is-
Yeah, I've
I-
tested. They do.
Oh,
To be fair, on the topic of allergies, the best thing I've ever seen is Andy eat a peanut brittle by mistake. Do you remember Cafe Uno days when I used to employ you?
Yeah, that wasn't no, that wasn't Cafe.
Oh no, it was Brasserie Gerard.
when you employed me for a second time.
Yeah.
More for you.
Dumb.
Did not learn the lesson.
Motherfucker, you got me laid. That's all I can say. That's fine. However,
You fucked Andy?
I witnessed Andy eat peanut brittle and then stuff his face with at least 20 hay fever tablets.
So when I first found out that I was allergic to nuts, which was eating a nut and then ending it, like, I had to finish my shift because I was working at a bowling alley at the time, and I had to wait for the next person to get there, and I just went to my manager and said, "Look, I finished my shift, but I've got to go home. I'm not feeling too well. I've eaten this nut, and now I don't feel too well." And he's like, "Oh, do you need an ambulance?" And I'm just like, "No, I'm not allergic to nuts," because up until then, I wasn't. I had
No
notion
one
I
had
wasn't
told
anyway.
you.
Yeah, no one had told me. Basically, I don't eat nuts. They're horrible. So up until that day, apparently I'd never eaten a nut, and then I ate one, and it almost killed me. So I leave work, and I go up the road, and I go to McDonald's, have McDonald's, and I make it about another 100 metres up the road, and then I'm projectile vomiting into the street. And this old woman walks past and just tuts at me because I think she thinks I'm drunk. And then
The one time you're not drunk.
I called my housemate from a payphone, and he jumped in a taxi and came and got me and took me to hospital. And I was in hospital for all of 25 minutes, and they gave me some steroids, and they hooked me up to something or whatever, and then I was fine, and I left. And I said, "Oh, do I need to get tested?" And he's just like, "Well, you can be tested, or if it happens again, just take like a month's worth of hay fever, 1 a day hay fever tablets, and you'll probably be alright."
Antihistamines up your ass, basically.
Yeah, yeah.
That can
Medical
actually
advice.
kill you, though.
Oh, no.
It can do, but so can the nuts, so...
It's just kind of like, well, you could be killed by this. There's also this gun. It's only got one bullet, but if you spin it,
Well,
you could possibly not have to deal with an allergy anymore one way or the other.
but then again, any
I've seen him
medication
do this
can
several times.
Yeah,
it's not
any
the one
medication
time
can
I've
kill
seen
you,
this.
but like on things like antihistamines or whatever, the description on the box for how much you should take is so cautious that you can take ridiculous
Yeah.
amounts more than whatever it says on the box. Anyway,
I've taken 3 in a day just to stop sneezing from hay fever.
yeah, exactly. So that's what I was told. So I always just keep a pack with me. I've never bothered getting tested. I don't. It's changed my diet in no way, shape, or form because I never ate nuts before. I now just. But then they hide nuts in things that I didn't know were made of nuts. Like it never occurred to me that marzipan was made of nuts.
It's the constituent ingredient.
Yes,
Like that.
I know that now, Tom.
I know that now. I stop breathing.
But every Christmas I would always eat marzipan. It's probably the only nuts I ever had in my diet ever. That and probably satay chicken was probably the only nuts I ever had in my diet. And I don't eat that much.
Takeaway and chocolate is
Yeah.
basically what you're...
So I ate a bunch of marzipan things at Christmas and felt really ill for a long time. And I've just stayed away from that now. I was caught. I went to the Grand Canyon and we hiked to the bottom of the Grand Canyon. So I was a 10-hour hike away from any medication at all. So that was an airlift. If I'd have, and there's my girlfriend at the time caught me with a cracker and a pot of Nutella doing this, and I'm just about to go, and she goes, "No," and I was like, "Oh yeah, it's made of nuts because it doesn't look like nuts.
It's chocolate.
It looks like chocolate."
It's a lie. Like,
It's a lie.
It is in the
'Cause
name.
I can't,
It is in the
I
name
can't-
on
I
that
can't-
one.
Yeah, but it just looks like chocolate spread. I didn't read the name.
No,
I just saw
fair
chocolate spread and thought, "Oh, chocolate spread, brilliant." That was energy hiking. So I can't taste properly, so it doesn't occur to me that things.
Oh,
have
that's
nuts in.
also a good point. Yeah, you suffer from anosmia, so...
Oh, I spent a day in your shoes the other day. I was like,
No, you had a cold.
I thought my feet were cold.
No, I had a little sniffle, and I mean, I've lost like sense of smell before, but it's only when I've been like extremely blocked up. This, for whatever reason, like I still had full use of my nose, but my taste just decided to fuck off. So I had this like interesting kind of experience of when I was at Eddie's that day. Took some Jamaican spiced bun, and like.
Motherfucker, have that with some processed cheese.
Yeah, I was told, it tastes like it tastes like hot cross bun. I ate it. It may as well have just been like builder's putty. It was just, like linseed oil and chalk.
However, I really enjoyed it.
But it was. Sorry, dude.
Who doesn't enjoy linseed oil with chalk?
Oh, it's tasty, motherfucker.
But going back to tea
or
and coffee.
Fuck both of them.
No, I mean I love tea, but I used tea and coffee as an analogy to explain to someone how a bisexual person can have a boyfriend or a girlfriend and still remain bisexual because they weren't getting their heads around it.
Go on.
So it was kind of I can't remember the specific example. So we'll use me as an example. For instance, I'd said, well, yeah, no, I am bisexual, but I have a girlfriend at the moment. So, well, so you're not bisexual. You're straight. You have a girlfriend.
No.
It's like, well, no. Just because I have a girlfriend, or just because they have a partner of that gender, doesn't mean they don't also find the other gender attractive.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they weren't getting their head round it. It's like, yeah, but like, this is who they've chosen to be with. So clearly, that's what they find attractive.
No, that's completely different.
Like, I tried kind of normal ploys, like, well, okay, so, you know how if you as a straight man, you have a girlfriend, you still find other women attractive. It's not just like, but you're kind of all about them. Yeah, that's the important thing. It's about them. Still weren't getting it. So I came down to this analogy of so do you like tea or coffee? And I was like, well, I like I like coffee. I was like, well, I mean, I like tea. But imagine for a second someone who likes tea and coffee. And they spend their whole life, sometimes they'll have some coffee, sometimes they'll have some tea, sometimes they'll have both in the same day, sometimes they'll have one in each cup. But there's one time they find, for the sake of argument, they find a particularly good brand of Sencha green tea, and they're like, oh, that's a bloody good tea. And it kind of ticks all the boxes for them. That's all they really need is about the tea. However, if someone was to offer them a coffee, they still enjoy a cup of coffee, but by choice, all they'll have is this Sencha green tea. It's that tea specifically. They're still into tea and they're still into coffee. And I think I just about got through to them. Maybe, but it was...
It's really difficult when you have someone that doesn't quite understand that mentality.
Because people, a lot of people are naturally binary.
There's a difference between who you'd like to spend the rest of your life with in a relationship and sex. There is a difference there.
Yeah, absolutely. One's the relationship's about a person, sexuality is about sexuality. Whatever that may be.
I've always been the kind of bisexual where I go, I want to fuck men and women equally. However, I want to have a relationship with women because I find it easier to be in a relationship with women.
God, yeah. I mean, having a relationship with me must be a lot of hard work.
Because, to be honest, the people in my life I go to when I need relationship counsel or I need some kind of closeness is women. So that's what I want to be in a relationship with. Relationship is different to sexuality.
Yes, yeah, a relationship's about the person rather than the gender.
I usually use hair colour as a way of explaining it. I'd say to somebody, right, your current partner is blonde, so you don't fancy any redheads or brunettes. Then they go, oh, no, you're dating someone who's blonde, therefore, based on your own logic, you are not sexually attracted to redheads or brunettes.
It's so perverse.
That's a little easier than mine, yes.
Because they just start...
But it gets to the same point. You're very, very good, yeah.
They just start arguing back with you, and then you're like, okay, that's my argument. And then they just sort of look at you for a bit, and then you leave, basically. But, yeah, that's always been the way I've approached it. It's like, it's irrelevant. It's like hair colour.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It is completely irrelevant.
So in answer to your question, tea.
Coffee.
Tea.
Hot chocolate.
Coffee.
Oh, you're all scum.
Coffee is the
all
one.
scum.
Coffee is definitely the one.
I don't blame you, Andy. You don't know any better, but the rest of you are scum.
Literally, I go as far as turning the kettle on. That's my entire. Other people want tea and coffee. I'll put the kettle on. You're all a bunch of picky bastards. And I'm not learning how to make it.
I've tried to learn how to make tea.
Oh, so boring.
I have tried, and people
Everyone
have
likes it
insisted to me that they drink any tea.
And then they don't, because they're liars. It's a lie. It's another lie.
But they hide the tea in my house. I would make them tea, and then I would find a nearly full cup of tea deposited somewhere on a bookcase.
Oh, do you know what?
In my house.
Fucking people used to...
I think that's more about you, hon. I don't know what you're doing.
But
with
I
the
would
tea.
tell them I couldn't make the tea and that they should make their own tea, and they would insist that wasn't the case.
Actually,
and then
to be
they'd
fair,
have no tea.
Beth cunt. My sister,
Beth cunt.
Beth
cunt.
Beth.
That's
Beth.
now we
That's what I
know.
call her. It's an affectionate sibling name, that.
The fact I was about to say Beth, the closest lady to me ever. She cannot make a cup of tea to save her life. It's either too brewed or too milky.
You're talking gibberish.
Oh,
You're talking gibberish.
Well, we're talking kind of builder's tea at this point, aren't we? Kind of classic English breakfast.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I mean...
Even builders won't drink my tea, though. I found it hidden in a building.
They won't put brick on brick until like someone else comes in and makes the tea.
This is why I like green tea. Like, you put the bag in the cup, you pour some water on it, you walk away, and then when you come back to it...
Do you know what?
See, when I grew up...
I like our tea.
Yes.
Apart from, like, the one thing I don't like about our tea that's come in the pot is
It's clearly
gone.
whiskey.
It's gone. That's the one thing I don't like about it. Other than that,
that glass
it's fantastic.
teapot looks awfully frail for a bunch of drunk podcasters to be clanging around.
And we are at 2 hours. So, I think we call it there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you both for that topic, and we need to move on to music. So, who's got some musical tunes for me?
I never have any inspiration for this.
Oh.
I'm going to say
bad.
some Tetris Tchaikovsky. Do it.
And in the style of what?
I don't care. I'm reading the topic.
I don't even know what this section is. I was not forewarned.
You know, the bit where we just kind of... you've listened to the podcast before, haven't you?
Most of it.
You don't get to the end.
So at the end, there's normally a suggestion for some weird collaboration music.
And then I do the announcements of share and tell a
tune
friend.
done in a particular
that
style
kind of
or
stuff.
something like that. We make a shitload of noise and Tom struggles to say things over it. Can we use all 5 the whiskey bottles and
Yeah.
do the...
Yeah.
Yeah! That's an idea.
Shall I fill some of them up with some water from the hose?
No, because there'll probably be different
The different shapes.
timbres.
Right,
Okay.
so if this is our instruments... Cool.
I like this. Okay,
What
yeah.
we're gonna try?
No, just do a tune. Just
Yeah, what
play
tune
a
are we
tune
gonna
together.
do?
No, just try and blow in time.
Okay. Well, we're going to try and do Star Wars. No, right.
I like
we've
the
already done
cheeky
Star Wars.
giggle.
I do not have a dirty mind.
Share and tell a friend about this podcast. It's very ominous. This is really ominous.
Share the podcast or else.
The website is pottopicpodcast.com. Actually, I'm going to whisper this in. The newsletter. Sign up to it at pottopicpodcast.com. The whiskey bottles tell you to do it. Twitter at pottopicpodcast.com. Search Pottopic Podcast on Facebook and Tumblr. Instagram account at Pottopic Podcast. Hashtag Pottopic Podcast to get on our community wall. Emails at Pottopic Podcast. We will read them out. Rate and review us on iTunes and Stitcher. 5 stars, motherfucker.
Don't be a fool, wrap your tool.
Like the video on YouTube, subscribe, share, fucking. Boshti kebab!
Respect the Green Cross Code.
Anal is God's blind eye.
Oh, that's made me lightheaded.
I now know why I never listened to the last couple of minutes.
Music used in this episode was Meatball Parade by Kevin MacLeod from Compotech.com. It's licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0. Please see the MP3 comment tag or show notes on hot.podcast.com for more information.
Wang.
Wang!
Tallywhack.
Wang.
Tallywhack.
I can't
Tallywhack.
compete with that one.
Yeah, you can.
Tallywhack.
I think we're good.
That was
You have the bigger wang.
Tallywhack.
My wang be loud.
Is that all of the whiskey bottles that's been drunk in here? That can't be all of them.
Nah, nowhere near.
No, I was going to say.
It's the last 4.
That's this week.
This month. Yeah. See, these kind of donuts, they always seem to be a lie to me. They always look very nice, but then I'm always
What, do you
disappointed.
think they're
Portal
flapjacks
3,
in
the
disguise?
donuts are a lie.
The
Andy,
donuts are a lie.
are they undercover flapjacks?
I had some of these donuts when I was on holiday. They were part of the buffet in the morning, and they
That's
were
a buffet.
They were massively a lie. They were horrible, and I suspect the same of your donuts.
Dishonest donuts are a blight on humanity.
I agree.
Fuck those dishonest donuts. They do ruin the reputation of all good, honest, God-fearing donuts. Like
So-
those pink ones.
Did
that
you
look
see
like
that?
the
There's
ones on
nothing
the
worse than
Simpsons.
duplicitous deep fried goodness.
Yes.
Did you see the post that Paula did about? It was about Coach magazine.
Oh no, I missed that.
So Coach magazine, one of these free magazines you get in London.
Oh, I have a subscription.
That is just sort of about health and training or whatever. And in it, they've got like this little feature which is life in donuts.
Nice donuts.
So they take a normal food, and then they say, well, this much food is this much calories, which is equal to this much donuts.
Oh, yes, I've seen that.
But every week, it was equal to a different amount of donuts, but it was still 217 calories of donuts. Didn't matter what the food was or how many calories were in the food. It was always equal to a random amount of donut that was 217 calories for weeks on end. So I started taking pictures of them all and Paula posted them up on the Coach magazine's Twitter feed. And was just like, you're doing it wrong. So now they pulled the feature completely. I was waiting for I was waiting for their response. They did a response. They said, "Oh well, now we've reformatted the feature, so it's easier to understand." And it's just like, well, yeah, I understand perfectly. It's just wrong.
You can't count.
So then, instead of doing like a normal food, they did an aeroplane Toblerone in donuts. Which
so-
is what use to anyone if you're training for something.
Andy.
You want to know how much like ham is compared to donuts, or chicken breast is to donuts. You don't
Andy.
care about aeroplane-sized Toblerones. And you
I
don't
want
care.
to know where you get the aeroplane-sized Toblerones from. That's all it's done.
No, airplanes are airport-sized, like duty-free
Andy,
ones.
that's-
Oh,
You've lied.
airplane-sized.
You've
As much as the donuts, as much as the and Coach magazine.
So
Hang on, I'm still trying to deal with the meta of an aeroplane Toblerone of donuts.
10. 2,117 calories and 70 calories. Those times it by 10, they still got the same number wrong.
but it all depends on which airline you're flying with.
Ryanair, it's
Like,
the same
but-
now.
I-
They didn't get delivered. They took it 3 quarters.
Virgin Atlantic's very different to Virgin America, which is very interesting to those who are interested in that sort of thing. I personally am not, but I just thought I'd bring it up.
Is
Yeah.
the fridge functional, or is it just an ornament?
It is. It's not plugged in.
I was going to say, there's a lot of sort of worry about the shit out of it.
It's Schrodinger's fridge. It could or could not work.
Should see the cat inside. Or not.
No.
So that's where
Might
they
change a few things if you look at it.
I believe you. I think
Yeah.
there is a cat inside.
That's why all the other cats keep coming around the house. They're just looking for their mate you've
No.
stuck in a non-turned-on fridge.
Last time I
That's
thought about
why-
the cat in our fridge, he was angry maybe.
Last time, that's why.
Huh? Have you got some story or something to talk about?
Yeah.
How did it get to
You sound
now
very
before
sure of
you think
yourself.
about it? Every time.
I did everything else. I had a list, and I did everything else. I just forgot it. Okay, cool. Yeah, sure.